And here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Ruthless Invitational Showdown, Season 12. And today is the day where we will decide who is the top 18 that will move on to the grand finals. My name is Sir Cloud, together with my wonderful buddy here, Contra. How are you feeling about today?
Well, I'm feeling extremely excited for the teams that will be playing in the grand finals. And also, at the very same time, it is definitely concerning for certain teams who are finding their way to make it into the top 18. So may the best teams prevail in that sense. So, of course, if some of you guys are hoping to, get the lowdown of all these happenings, make sure you tune in because we're about to bring you into the leaderboards to give you a little glimpse of what really goes down later on.
Oh yeah, we got to recap, right? We got to recap. So some people might focus on who's going to be the champion of the league stage. That's cool, right? It's always nice to have that flex as you move into the grand finals. But of course, what's more important is that who will make the cut. So page number 3 and probably half of page number 2 will be the focus for us today. And each team only has 4 games remaining today to decide their fate before tomorrow begins.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, 4 games is as much as it really gets for some of these guys, and they cannot afford to really slip up if they're currently near the bottom of the barrel. And then the last we saw, it was actually very neck and neck between some of these teams where they're within less than 10-point margin in order to make it into the 18 spot. So we'll see if some of the teams, whether if they can actually defend their position or push upwards, we'll have to, of course, find out later on.
And hopefully we get to see a showing from Hora Esports as well. We have no news yet, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned. They might make a showing, they might not. But what will surely make a showing is our point system here. Well, if you're not familiar yet, where have you guys been all this while? First place, winner chicken dinner will take home 10 points. Second place, 6 points. Third place, 5 points. Fourth place, 4 points. Fifth place, 3 points. Sixth place, 2 points. 7 and 8 will be 1 point. Above that, unfortunately, will not gain any placement points, but everybody has a shot of gaining elimination points.
That's right. It's been the true tested evaluation systems to, of course, find the best teams possible, where we've seen variations of teams playing both strategically as well as aggressively by making sure that they stay consistent in that manner. So how does this tournament work? Do you wonder? It is 24 teams to be divided into 3 separate groups, and they'll be playing in a round-robin format. Now, of course, we're looking for the 18 teams that we speak of. So this is the very final day for them to lock in that spot into the grand finals. And then, of course, we'll be implementing the Smash rules over the course of the weekend. And it will all end on the 26th of this month.
And in case you're still unfamiliar with the Smash rule, the first 3 days of the grand finals will be used to determine what will the match point be. And that will be determined by the number 1 team adding 10 points to whatever points they have collected after 3 days. And by the 4th day, if the team or whichever team reaches that match point, the following round, they score a chicken dinner, the day ends, that team automatically becomes the champion. So it will be really interesting to see in case it is your first time watching a PUBG Mobile esports tournament with a Smash rule. You don't want to miss this one.
True enough, and for most part, what I'm thinking about over the course of the couple of days is that we have not really seen certain teams to get repeated chicken dinners because it's just so competitive. And this might actually affect things when the grand finals, where you might see those kind of teams, they manage to reach that match point and they think, okay, that's great, I just need to get a win. And sometimes that win doesn't come. It's going to be incredibly frustrating. But this system really allows every team a very fair shot to be crowned champions.
Yes, absolutely right. And it allows for a comeback story as well. Like imagine it goes like, maybe game 5, but you came from behind, you reach the match point, you're not at number 1, but then you smash it in that round, then you automatically become champion. Man, that allows opportunities for Cinderella stories to be created in this type of format. So it's definitely something that you don't want to miss out on. Make sure you mark your calendars for that day itself. to see who will be the champion of this season's Ruthless Invitational Showdown Season 12. And today is the day. 18 teams. Now, we're going to recap on the numbers later on, right? But before that, we're going to reintroduce again the teams via the groups A, B, and C.
Yep, and of course, starting off in Group A, we got hot favorites like Alter Ego, Vampire Esports, Team Secret, and Toadart has also been on the rise due to their strong performance in Miramar, and of course, RRQ. The rest are still picking up the pace coming from Group A.
Yep. So Group A, B, and C, if you ask me, they are very well balanced. We don't really have a team that just goes all the way. Everyone's like, okay, this round, it's great. The other round, maybe not so. So there's a balance in the force, whichever group that you are in. Of course, naturally, because it's the point system, we'll have some teams on top, some teams at the bottom, but nobody's really running away from it. But before we revisit the numbers, these are the players representing your favorite squads.
That's right, and we've spoke a little bit about off-season and certain teams actually bringing changes to their squads. Overall, Alter Ego Ares are sticking with very familiar faces, and of course, we've had Krypton to also start to show his prowess and his firepower, and whether he gets to get a little bit more airtime. While throughout the past few days, we start to also see Rosemary really shine over the course. So definitely we want to see more out of Alter Ego Ares. Horror Esports is a big question. They've been absent for a couple of days. Will they come back? You ask. We got to check with production later on if they decided, we're going to make a miraculous bounce back from the bottom.
Yeah, but speaking about bouncing back from the bottom, Boom Esports, they have been trying to bounce back from the bottom, and so far, so good for Boom Esports. But let's see if they can maintain their momentum here today. And Voin, they scored the final chicken dinner yesterday that puts them within the top 18. But are they safe enough? Well, the points are still very close, so anything can happen. Gotta keep an eye on their performance later.
Yep, truly enough. And then you also do have some of the other staples coming in from South Asia, such as Four Tribes, Tribe MSC, as well as Alpha Gaming. They've been able to secure chicken dinners in the form of consistency. I think that they definitely could see some room for improvements. And then MGN Vikings Esports, out of many SEA teams, they seem to be playing a little bit more passively, but very strategically, where they're always looking for the very final circle every single time, and they defend the ground very, very well.
Well, speaking about defending, Bigatron by Vitality defended their number one spot from 2 days ago. Yesterday they did it, and currently they are the top dog team at the number one spot. Now their roster has already been announced, so I guess no surprises to who their lineup is. We have Red Face there. It's updated on the board as well, so we might see them using their original IGNs later.
Yeah, and it's great that we are actually getting Zuxi back at home. It was a short retirement for him, and then he went on to Claw Slayers for a little bit of a stint, and now he's feeling absolutely comfortable. And then we got Team Flash with the biggest chicken dinner acquired throughout the playoffs so far. 20 over elimination points in the span of a round. They are definitely one feisty team. Alongside with the rest of the names like AZ Slumber, T2K, as well as ASI8, which still have more to prove.
Yeah, but the one that is feisty as an individual is Rosemary. 31 eliminations so far with 6,127 damage. And can you imagine? Yesterday, he was not even in the road to MVP when we started the show, but he scored 2 MVPs for himself, immediately putting him up here as the overall MVP. But other players, of course, trailing behind. We have Refus, Mela, Red Bull, and Lazarus, aka Schwab. So 3 representatives from Vampire Esports on the road.
Yeah, it's been rather impressive that Vampire Esports, they've been able to really go out for the chase, hunting out all these players, playing super aggressively but despite playing aggressively, sometimes certain players will disregard, certain trades just because they just want enough of those elimination points. But they've always been able to really find their mark, at least securing about 5 points of eliminations. And on top of that, very consistent top 4 finishes, or if not, the chicken dinner.
Well, these players, they definitely would help their respective teams to claim those chicken dinners. Rosemary and Badru, both from Alter Ego, up here as one of our top overall fraggers. We also have Tops from Team Flash, and we have Mela. He missed one game yesterday, but he's still up here. So imagine if he played all the games, he could probably surpass Rosemary. But let's see what happens today. His other new teammate, Red Bull, is here as well, still proving that he is a consistent player wherever he goes.
True enough, and it really feels like he's a hit man being hired into so many different rosters. And hopefully, with this adjustment into Vampire Esports, he will feel a lot more confident because he's surrounded with superstars. I've always regarded Vampire Esports to be like the SEA Real Madrid of PUBG Mobile in a sense.
Well, at least their performance are showing a Real Madrid-ish performance. Although it's third place, but they're only 4 points behind BTR. And let's be real, right? It's nice to be the number one in the league by the end of the day, but what matters is that you get the top 18. So that is the most important thing for today, especially. So we can pretty much say that teams on page number 1, they're pretty comfortable right now. But for teams on page number 2, it depends on which team. Most of them might come from the bottom of page 2.
Yeah, true enough. And with 4 rounds remaining for each of them, what exactly is the cutoff point? Now we really start to wonder, right? So right now we're looking at number 16 to be around 73. Void Donkey definitely have seen a little bit more of the improvement on their standings, all thanks to the double chicken dinner that they managed to acquire throughout their run, especially yesterday. That win solidifies their standings. But I would say perhaps all these teams need to hit at least above 90 points in order to make it safe.
90. Okay, we'll keep that in mind later, right? Because as of now, the cutoff point is held by 4 Thrives with 71 points. But if we were to zoom in onto the next team, NapX is only 1 point behind. So that's very, very doable. And NapX, they don't want to deal with the tiebreaker because 4 Thrives, T2K, they have their respective chicken dinners. If they are on the same amount of points, naturally tiebreaker would favor those teams. So they have to get more points than 4 Thrives and T2K as per the current rankings. Other than that, I would say that AZ Slumber, 52, Homeboys, ASI8, and if Hora Esports plays today and they put up an explosive performance, they can't even catch up.
Yeah, I would dare say the same myself, because you take a look at realistically, certain teams, when they have those explosive games, that's worth like 20 over points per chicken dinner. And just like that, you just climb all the way 3 rankings or above. And that really helps them to resuscitate their chances. So right now, they got to really lock in. Eyes on the prize. We start off in the Wrangle and we go back and forth between Miramar as well as Wrangle. And by match 30, we will find out who exactly will be present over the course of the next 4 days.
Yep, and although the time is stated there, it's an estimated time. We are on a rolling schedule. So if we're done with the current game earlier than expected, we will roll the next game even earlier, just like how some of the rounds ended in stage 6 yesterday. So you guys got to stay tuned here. Now, putting focus onto game number 1, where we will play inside of Irango. We're going to start off with Group A and B. And here are your superstar teams, including Alter Ego, who had a good run yesterday.
Yeah, and now we really got to also focus on those teams who really want to back in those points, such as Homeboys, 52 Esports. Arguably, some of all these names, like even 4 Tribes, isn't exactly in the clear. So they really got to ensure that survival is going to be the key focus here. But then again, we move into a lot of all these maps, and yet again, the hot drop still happens. Namely, 4 Tribes that have been fighting 7-9 inside of Ferret Pier. So is this going to be a problem at all? Is 7-9 actually in this lobby? We'll have to find out whether if they will be prevailing in that sense.
And if we were to talk about record, right, like 7-9, they have a better record against 4 Thrives yesterday. So it's something that we want to see if Forthrice can actually fight back here, or are they just going to change the drop spot? We don't know. It might be dictated by the flight path as well. It really depends on the team, but it will also depend on us, on what team do we want to predict. So do you have a team in mind?
Well, I'm still thinking that some of these top tier teams out there, I mean, the ones that are on top of the leaderboards right now, are still trying to prove something to themselves that, hey, we cannot really mess with us. We will ensure that when it comes down to the finals, we will still look to dominate. So I'm putting my vote on VPE this time around.
Ooh, okay. The team that has the most road to MVP players. All right. So this team, they scored a chicken dinner yesterday, and they have a massive lineup upgrade, and it's showing on the battleground as well. So I'm going to put in Toda as my first choice.
Ooh, Toda. I really do like your pick. I do think that they are usually a lot better in Miramar, but then again, they are also stepping up their playing field when it comes down to Erangel overall. So they're definitely looking really good. And I do believe that, you know, with the addition of Kenny, it really feels like this is like a brand new revitalized team, you know, like his impact so far has been impeccable.
Oh yeah, and they did very well yesterday, and that's why they're on page number 1. I wonder what production is thinking of. It's taking a while this time. Boom Esports, interesting. Well, Boom Esports, you know, they're this team that at this moment you don't know what sort of performance are they going to put out. Is it going to be the Boom Esports that performs, or is it going to be the Boom Esports that is taking a chill pill? So what do you think about their choice?
Well, I really do think that Boom Esports yesterday were having desperate measures, right, to really gain their momentum, because they had a great day one, and then they kind of slide off a little bit. And then we start to see that they're on that borderline of the red zone of the 18th spot, and then they start to push again. So I think that it's a really good call, but I really think that a lot of these rounds really revolve around playing with Yummy, and the rest of these teams, I mean, these teammates really have to catch up.
Okay. Yeah, I think even though Yummy, he did okay. He might not have the most explosive of his own individual performance. Obviously, we've seen better in the professional leagues. He has been the FMVP before. But like what you said, right? It is a team game. So the other teammates will need to step up to the game and not to be overly dependent onto Yummy and be able to perform. It's just like how Alter Ego is, right? Yes, we still see Rosemary performing, and that's why he is the current MVP. But his other teammates are also doing the business as well. So that's why Alter Ego, they are doing very well, especially yesterday when they had a very good performance overall.
Yeah, I really think that they're really getting everything back on track. The first day, they were just pranking around. I would say they were just getting, you know, singular digits, 1 or 2 elimination points per round. And that wasn't exactly going to cut it. Now you can see that cohesiveness starting to shine coming in from those members of Alter Ego. And it's absolutely paying off. You know what, Sir Cloud? We've talked a whole lot to really get the ball rolling. And now it's about time we have the players get on board.
And yes, Erangel is going to be our first match, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to roll the maps. So Erangel, Miramar, and also the groups A and B. Going to kick off game number 1. Here we go.
Hoping to see teams start off strong, as we're having a glimpse of a view coming in from Mount Stalbert. And it will also allow teams to be moving into the military base at the very same time. So I think this is a very favorable zone for the likes of many. But then again, I'm still concerned about a few factors here. We've seen some fights in Novo. We've seen T2K versus ASI over at North Point. So maybe if some of the teams are not present, they will get a little bit more of that reprieve. But I just want to see, like, you know, maybe a stale start so that everybody gets a fair chance into fighting for some areas.
Hey, and Ferry Pier is very reachable though. So we might see that fight happen, or maybe not. We're still waiting for the exact drop to happen. So far, don't see 7-9 yet out of the plane. T2K is not out yet too. So there's a possibility that we might see the Fairy Pier fight happen again. But other than the Fairy Pier, any other potential fights as per the current drop? I don't think so. So it's probably going to be Fairy Pier still.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely Fairy Pier. Look at 4Tries, look at 7-9. They're already on the move. Now, the question remains, who's going to be the one to get the first dips, right? Like, the last time round, I think like Falak and Co from 4Tries, they couldn't really find the weapons, which is why they lost out that duel. And hopefully enough, maybe you get a fair shot and take a look around. It's going to be an island finish for everyone on board.
Well, I ain't complaining. Love this kind of circle. Let's go. But before that, 4Thrice and 7-9, round number 552 will commence right now. And looks like we're going to see 4Thrice having weapons of their own. Same goes for 7-9, so it's still a 50-50 between the
two. Like how you put it, round 500 and whatever number that was. Vex right now, covering all around, 70 bullets onto the tank, as he will have to really control this barrel spray down. It's not going to be an easy task. And meanwhile, Fallout gets the first takedown.
Oh, he got two, in fact. But Vex responded back, getting one for himself. Amazal eliminated. Trexie is out too. And Trexie is playing this time. Okay, yesterday he had an off day. But that means right now, 7-9, they only have two players, while 4Thrice, they have three. Hold up, it's time to heal up. While his teammates closing in. And we have Viren getting one for himself. Now it's only Vex left, the final active player for 7-9 against the two players of 4Thrice. Takes a lot of damage from the shotgun. Only 10% of health left. It's almost impossible for him to tank any further damage. And that is it. 7-9 becomes the first team to be eliminated.
And this is what we want to see, a big bounce back performance. 4Tries, they're riled up, and this time putting a statement against the Malaysian squad. Meanwhile, RRQ getting struck down. His homeboys rushing upon him, and Limboy, he finds one and takes out Sovel.
And now we have a nade being cooked up by Simba. Here we go. Nate will not connect, but that's fine. They still managed to take out Lapar. One more to go inside the building. It's going to be Napeko against the world. And Homeboys now closing onto him. It's going to be a 2v1. Going up against the shotgun and an AK. That's a shotgun on his own. Very clutchable weapon, but unfortunately not able to get Nikki. And he will be taken out. That leaves RRQ with two players left.
Oh, a very sticky situation for RRQ. I mean, somehow they got stranded up in the open fields. And I believe this to be somewhere towards the north section of Quarry, where it's not too many loots available as well. So it gets into this awkward point, but at the very least, there's an M4 in hand for GF Style. I'm still wondering who exactly this is, because I can't fully recognize the portrait neither. So I'm having a tough time thinking who exactly this could be.
Okay, hopefully they'll reveal themselves, but I kind of doubt so. Or maybe in the grand finals, who knows? They're just waiting for themselves to re-qualify, and we will reveal ourselves. If not, then it's like, it's okay.
Keep it a secret, right? And
oh, yeah.
What, change the roster? I don't think like they're that mean, you know?
Yeah, oh, yeah, it could be a new player. Who knows, right? I mean, you kind of think about it, right? Like this kind of off-season tournament, yeah, they can use this picture, yeah, they can use this IGN, but sometimes it's not really them. I mean, we've seen that with BTR until they made the official announcement. Then everyone goes like, it's these guys.
Yep, very familiar faces. And, you know, overall, I think like this offers a lot more stability towards the rest of BTR. And, you know, now we finally get to see that iteration where, you know, Zuxi gets to play with Federalis, and there's just so many different variations of play that is going to be very possible right now.
Oh, will he?
We'll have to find out.
That's for them to know and for us to find out, they say. But what we're finding out right now is the movement of players or teams into the mid to the base island. We got at least half of them already in the island, another half making their way. I'm interested to see what's going to happen on the right side bridge. We have Triper Messi there with Tora trailing behind them. So potentially we might see a bridge fight between the two teams.
Oh, yeah. And I think like whoever gets to really safeguard the bridge, they're going to be able to farm a whole lot of points. There's still plenty of all these teams who are still back in the mainland. So for those who are late, maybe they're thinking, maybe it's best for us to try to stay put. We find ourselves maybe a couple of all these straggling units to try to pick off and just farm for elimination points. This could be a really good way to go. And for the fact of the matter that, this being the very last day and we're given this kind of ending is just wild.
Hey, not complaining at all. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. But I also want to point out the fact that, unfortunately, Horror Esports is not playing in this round. So, assuming that they do show up in the following round, they have to come up with like 3 chicken dinners to be possible for them to be in the grand finals.
I think like mathematically, it's kind of low of a chance for them to make an appearance or even try to really fight for all those chicken dinners in like 3 rounds, because all these big teams, no matter which region you're from, they still need some time to really war up the pace. And to say get a triple chicken dinner overall, we haven't even gotten a back-to-back win out of all these days in the playoffs. So it's really tough. Really, really tough.
Yeah, gotta agree with that, right? It's very, very hard. And if you gotta think about it as well, it's like when the moment you come in, you have to adapt to the lobby. There's technically no warm-up for you, and you have to immediately perform. That's kind of hard. So yeah. That's all I can say. I mean, it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah, exactly the case in point, right? So we'll probably see them joining us in the next season if that's going to be the case. And of course, don't be heartbroken, fans out there. You still have your fair players eventually. So, of course, as we carry on with what's going on inside of the map of Wrangle, interesting enough, a lot of the teams have been able to really get into the island very simply, but we are seeing some congestion over on the corner of Lower Loy, and that's a good call because that's where the zone's going.
Ooh, the zone shifted towards the right side where Novo is at, but the teams are starting to get into the circle as well, or getting into the island. We have Todak here, homeboys, trying to take them out, but it's not that easy. You can see how good Todak navigates around the terrain as well, making it hard for homeboys to shoot them down.
Yeah, with such an angle, they managed to really take firm control of the sector. Yummy trying to actually make his way a little bit safer over on the top corner, but Helton's going to be on that hole, so he doesn't really have that much space to play with. So I'm not too sure whether if Esports is going to be able to make it out now that there's only 2 members left. So yeah, I'll kind of wish him all the best if that's the case.
Oh, Shamils is down. He needs to be picked up, and Simba is there. And see if he will be able to turn into the Lion King here to save his teammate.
I feel like there's a lot of Mufasas in the field. And, yeah, I really do hope that, there's a savior coming in to the rescue. But then again, Mastery, he kind of bites back and perhaps gives his teammates a little bit of a chance to form something in return. So right now, RRQ instead, the next one to bow out, they only walk away with 1 point, unfortunately. It has been a really rough run in, and now Dion with the assault across the bridge. Yante, he's got those angles and he's picking off those members of Homeboys.
I was trying to get that 1 point, but the bridge is blocking his view. Nevertheless, he does have the ammunition to spare, so might as well try his luck. But now Team 52, just right above Boom Esports, and what an angle. Definitely Kido wouldn't miss that one, and Yummy is now on the ground.
It's all down to mastery left, though. He just really has to buy all the time that he needs for him to maybe squeeze some placement points. I say maybe because this is still a very tough area to really play that one out. So, daunting pass. Right now, mastery as well as Helton comes face to face, and Helton's being brought down low, still soaking in the blue zone at the same time. He's got to heal up, but is there enough time for him to do so?
And that is Booming Sports unfortunately eliminated. Out with only 2 points this time, but at least in the overalls, they're still in the top 18, so still kind of okay. Let's see how many points can Trap Messi get out of those long-range taps. As we update the circle to go up to the high ground, a lot of teams currently up there, and yes, looks like we will see who might be king of the hill at the very end.
Yep. Currently, it's going to be Alter Ego holding on to that radio tower, being at the perfect focal point. Take a look at the outskirts, though. Team Secret, Void Donkey, 52 in that gridlock, and Void Donkey, they have yet to really move deeper into the space, so that is definitely concerning right now. But Frankie, he finds the catch onto Helton, and now paves the path for Team Secret to propel forward.
Well, they have to make it quick, because right now they're stage 3 still taking out blue. They have to cut across this bridge. In the meantime, Juki gets Helton. That's their first point this round in the bag. While the Vikings are fighting against APG somewhere else, and looks like APG fighting back with Tins now on the ground. But APG have been eliminated. But look at the minimap. 4 thrives now onto the Vikings. They want to be the third party against them.
Well, it's pretty interesting on how APG went down, because usually they do like to play inside of the island, and I wonder if it's going to be maybe a little bit of a rotation that they were caught off guard, and that's how they absolutely got punished. And those points now in favor of MVKE. Today, they're showing a little bit more aggression in the early game. That's what we want to see out of the boys of Vikings, which we haven't seen in a long while.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right? Love seeing this. And they're currently on page number 1. Maybe they're ambitious enough to try to get that number 1 spot, to get that spotlight into the grand finals. As for 4 thrives, they overtake the position of the Vikings, while the Vikings, they retreat, giving the position away to 4 thrives. Now they find somewhere else to move or somewhere else to be at, and they're navigating around the southern side. Maybe they're thinking about coming in from the left side back into the circle. While we check out what's happening on the left side bridge, involving Team Secret and Void Esports.
Team Secret, despite them clearing out 52 esports, they were taking their sweet time because they really want to hold out Void Esports. And this might actually be biting them in the back since those shots did connect. Void Esports right now going for a revive. Potato should be picked up. It's still stage 3, semi-tankable, but they gotta make it quick though.
Oh, wow, nice shot there by Razak. He got 1. UK is now down on the ground. Let's see if we can get Mr. Frankie Bond on the other side. Decides not to use his nade instead. Still with the SLK. Evaded that nade by Frankie. Now on the other side, we have Zeta here going up against Juki inside the building. While Frankie is charging in, looking for his target, and from afar he was sprayed, but Frankie has to be careful. His health is getting low now. Now he will be the final player left for Team Secret as his teammates have been eliminated.
Oh, that was a very firm call coming in. Void Donkey somehow have been able to navigate it so well. And now Frankie, he's just trying to see if he could actually drive across the bridge or maybe just find a little bit more of a leeway. But take a look at the bridge. There's still Kidobu, who's actually waiting around.
No first aids, dude. I don't think he'll make it past this bridge. Unless, if in this box there's first aids, he might have a chance, but I don't know about that, man. I don't know if he'll have enough time. But we shift forward to Trapper Messi now against Celcom DJ Alliance. Here we go with Adeluk defending his ground, getting a couple of knockdowns on Trapper Messi, and looks like Celcom DJ Alliance managed to defend the ground.
I like that he actually thought about, switching seats just to get into the other side. And right now, there's still more aggression being shown to the side of Celcom TG Alliance, so they still need to recover themselves. Adeluk still limping, but now getting over the back of the hovercraft is definitely a much safer call. But of course, out of that altercation, they still managed to back all 4 points. So that's great work coming in from Telkom DG Alliance. Now, a lot of space opened up, but then again, from this corner of the map that they're playing over in the north, west, there's still Void Donkey that might actually move towards that direction.
As for fourth rise, Falak is still on the outside, now making his move into the circle. The Vikings, as we can see on the minimap, they're very spread out. I guess they want to try to block teams from coming in case any teams use the southern side. But not too sure what happened, but my pick, Doda, just got eliminated.
Yeah, I think the last we saw was that member of Todak was also around these quarters, and they were just being peppered by some of the members of Alter Ego. So they decided to perhaps push upwards, and then got themselves, of course, traded out. Alter Ego did hold the best spot possible, and right now, looking very convincing on a possible chicken dinner. Only 7 teams remain right now on stage 4, and we're gonna see whether if Void Donkey with this late rotation will pay off dividendly. I mean, they won Team Secret, and now they have to face off against their fellow countrymen.
Focusing on through the current king of the hill, Alter Ego. As long as they have the circle, they have this position, they're in prime position to be at. Let's look at this. They're able to look at teams making rotations around them. That includes Foreign Esports, who's just across Krypton right now. And Alpha can check out the other side, and there's another team there. That's fourth Rise. Rise, his long range shot, it did connect, but not enough to get a knock.
It's gonna be a little hard there. 4 tribes, 3 members left, and you see, after taking out those members of 7-9, they're pretty much amped up now, also back in their 5th one already. But playing from such a far stretch is going to be a daunting task, especially with, you know, an artillery force coming in from Alter Ego up the top side. I think that no matter what, this next circle will still benefit Alter Ego areas no matter the cost. So teams will really have to play by the foothill instead to try to find those covers until they can actually form a push. And I don't think that Void Donkey wants to challenge Alter Ego at the moment as well. And take a look at Rosemary. He's being knocked down far on the outskirts, so Krypton is going there for the rescue.
Ooh, okay. Interesting position for Rosemary to be at. I thought that he would join his teammates at the high ground, but looks like he had an ambitious thought. A 4th rise down against Telkom DG Alliance, and a knock. Telkom DG Alliance, 2 active players for 4th rise. Well spread around, but look at the minimap. The vampires behind Telkom DG Alliance.
Well, the Vampires have been really quiet throughout the matchup, and now here comes the first strike. Simba right now landing his claws over the corner. Falak getting caught out. Pixel perfect angle coming from Olio to be able to shut down the ace of Fourth Rock. And here comes the grenades falling right through, and it's gonna be Zeta getting clipped out from right now under Shamils. Somehow he's been able to win the duel up against Void Donkey's own marksman.
Oh, okay. Who hit that long shot? Onto Shamil, waiting for the elimination. Oh, it's Badru. Whoever Badru is, kind of doubt that that's Badru. But anyway, knocking onto Shamil, and he's on the outside of the circle, not the best position to be at, leaving Homeboys with only 1 player left. Let's check out what's happening on the left side here. Palak needs a pickup, and he should be back up anytime soon.
That's right, and 4 tries being let off. But then again, Vampire Esports is also moving towards this corner. They're playing very defensively this time around. Earlier, that was all the 4 members all together, and now 2 members have been taken apart. Both Red Bull as well as Gooey, the brand new transfers of Vampire Esports. Still have Mel now, though. Still remaining to be the top fragger for the team for the moment. While we're seeing whether if they can actually push onwards and upwards. While the rest of Alter Ego, they're feeling rather comfortable. They've been able to wrap the corners and now have definitely knew for the fact that there's nobody right behind them, so they can just focus on whatever's in the zone.
Yep, and I like the fact that Alter Ego, all 4 of their players, they have their respective eliminations. Again, it tells the story of what we said during the pre-show, right? Like, every player in Alter Ego is functioning. Now back onto the action for the Vikings. Looks like Nikki is the only one in the shack, but before any further action, he'll lock in that elimination point by taking out Superman, but they will alert the rest of the Vikings now.
Speaking of that, right now, it's Nikki all alone inside the shack. This is going to be a grand hustle coming from the rest of Vikings, but there was that knock coming in from Krypton that kind of put them into a difficult stance, and now point blank Tins somehow wins the trade just by that crease of that rock, and now they get to go in for recovery, but Break has been napped away from that member of Alter Ego.
Oh, we're going to see the next phase of the zone. Still has a portion of the high ground, and Krypton is within the circle. Alter Ego, in fact, they have a full team, and they are in prime position. Well, let's see what's going to happen here with Tins as Alter Ego Badru comes by. But from the side, it's going to be Krypton that lands a final blow, and Alter Ego is on a rampage.
Yeah, rightfully so. 10 points already. It's been a very steady run for them, and there was basically not much of a retaliation coming in from the rest of the squad. So I'm not sure whether these teams really have the squad strength to really face off against Alter Ego at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4v2, v2, v1, unless everyone bands up and just aims at Alter Ego. If not, it's going to be pretty hard. Plus, Alter Ego, they are in a very good position. And with the good position that Krypton has, he sees final play of 4 tries, or the second last play of 4 tries, just to be gunned down by Rosemary from the side. And that's going to be point number 12 for Alter Ego. 4 tries. While all that was happening, have been eliminated, leaving us with 3 teams.
3 teams to go. Vampire Esports. You got to respect their firepower, though. But then again, Hovercraft in the hands of Alpha can basically soak some damage and maybe just rampage his way through. He's aiming it at Strep, already driving over on the bottom, but it doesn't seem like they need all too much as Alter Ego comes in with a white wrap with a convincing chicken dinner to solidify their spot here in the grand finals.
And not dropping a single point to any other team, Alter Ego, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday they scored a chicken dinner. Today they score another chicken dinner. Alter Ego, they're in the hunt for that number 1 spot, and they want to take it away from the hands of BTR.
This team always impresses every step of the way, and my, this is by far the most cleanest win out of many, and it really felt like there was not much damage to be done to these members of Alter Ego because they were in the prime area from the get-go, and they just controlled it all too well.
Yeah, the only one thing that happened to Alter Ego was the knock on the Rosemary. Even that, he was able to be recovered, and pretty much the rest was history. So it just shows another solid performance by Alter Ego individually. They worked as a team to help each other. If anyone gets knocked, nobody's left behind. And the one that was knocked puts himself in a position that he can be saved. And that's how they recover back as a 4. So no points donated to any other team. And they managed to collect 14 elimination points along the way as well. So that's 24 points for Alter Ego. Now, there is a high possibility that Alter Ego would have overtaken BTR.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. This big win, and it's been pretty much so consecutively day by day that they've been able to achieve so, is just astounding to me that they are having such a track record despite, first couple of days needing so much time to warm up, and now it's the full engines running. So Alter Ego seems very battle ready for the grand finals.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Can't wait to see if they'll be able to be consistent throughout the entire day. But before we head on to the confirmation if Alter Ego is number 1, looking at some of the other stats, we're comparing Alter Ego to your pick contra Vampire Esports, who came kinda close since they were at 2nd place to scoring the chicken dinner. But look at the gap here. We're talking about 14 eliminations against 2.
Yeah, and you reminded me that I actually went for this vote, and yep, I guess Alter Ego is still having pretty much all of the cards all stacked perfectly for themselves to really draw aces here, especially when we look at all these fights. It's been Nikki TZ who somehow does 900 of damage over the span of the match, but he only walks away with 3. Believe that there was this difficult situation for Homeboys, but they managed to really get the funnel through because they were holding the bridge.
Yeah, especially the left side bridge. But because he only scored 3, we have other players. If we were to zoom in onto like the overall performance or eliminations, we have like 4 players here with the exact amount of eliminations, only divided by the damage output. Kryptons, Tins, Rosemary, and for luck here. And for 4th Rise, they won it against Sem9. I'm sure Sem9 will be looking to take revenge against 4th Rise later.
Yep, that's something that they do look forward towards, and we'll have to see if that is going to be, something a little bit more straightforward. You think about it, like, there's also so many times that when it comes down to the map of Miramar, 4 tribes also battle with Sem9, so I just got this gut feeling that they are just nemesis at this point in time.
Yeah, and maybe in terms of points as well, we need to look at that one later. But what we're sure right now is Alter Ego and 4th Rise, only 2 teams with a double digit. Nobody in this round went out empty-handed. Everyone at least got a point for themselves. So I guess that's okay. But it also depends on what kind of position you're at in the overalls, where we'll visit in a little bit more. But also to point out that on the this page that we can see here, not all 64 players are playing, but yet we still have Alter Ego being able to bring in that many elimination points. Imagine if everyone's playing. Who knows? Alter Ego could get up to 20.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a very good case, right? Where, from that performance alone, like, it really felt like they have all the protocols being set up so perfectly. Like, even to the point that Rosemary, at one point, he just went alone, tried to check some of all the angles, and then he got caught for a little bit, but thankfully he wasn't taken out, right? So it's still pretty much interesting on how this team actually functions as a whole, where, from the bottom, now they make it to the top with the chicken dinner that they've just acquired, and they only had 2. So majority of these points right now, they farmed it through elimination points, even besting Vampire Esports.
And it's a confirmation as well that Alter Ego is currently at number 1. And look at the amount of eliminations. 106. They have broken the 100 elimination mark here through this round. But our main topic today is going to be the teams that might or might not make it. Now, with 4th Rise bringing in 10 points, they put themselves at number 16 with 81 points. At least they're on page number 2. But remember, 81 points before we flip over to see how small the gap is between these teams and the drop.
Yeah, I don't think that it's a big margin overall. If we actually recall, like, some of these teams initially was sitting around either high 60 points or somewhere in the middle of 70s. So speaking of which, we get a glimpse of it. T2K 73 can afford to still catch up. NetX now needs to beat them with a total of 4 points. So I think it's very possible that NetX can actually qualify to the finals.
Yeah, and Nepex did not play this round because they'll be playing in the following round. So they still stand a good chance because, well, they have 4 more games where some of the teams above them only has 3 more games. So they stand a good chance. But we'll see what happens in the next round. When we come back from the break, it's going to be Miramar. So we'll see you guys after this one. No rest for the wicked.
Give me what I want. Never get enough. Never giving up. Give me what I want. Turn on, get ready for it. Stay strong. I'm here for it. Don't stop. No rest for the wicked. Turn it up again. I lose control. Give me everything. It's what I want. Best I've ever been. I see the goal. Feel it deep within my soul. Give me what I want. Never get enough. I'm never giving up. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I
And we're back at it again as we're getting closer and closer to the grand finals. Only 5 more matches remain as we're going to be moving into Miramar up next. And wow, that performance from Alter Ego really convinces us that they are a formidable force when they do hit into the final 4 days.
Oh, yeah. And I'm excited to see what Alter Ego will bring to the table next year. Are they going to be consistent, or is it going to be a one-off for Alter Ego? And to note that Alter Ego, they're currently on top at number 1. They might not be that comfortable because after this, BTR is going to make their showing, and I'm sure they want to take back their throne.
And overall, BTR, like now that they've already told the world that, hey, this is the brand new revitalized roster. And I think that, they are definitely feeling very good about, all these brand new prospects and possibilities. And overall, I feel like they've been really showing this that even on both maps, they've been really, really looking composed. So I'm wondering if they will be able to take it here in Miramar.
It will depend on how warmed up are they getting into a very warm, dusty map called Miramar. And of course, we're going to roll the groups as well at the same time. We're going to focus on the A and C. So what's interesting between A and C is that Alter Ego, they're playing, BTR, they're playing. And if they happen to meet each other in this map, well, that will be a good fight.
It definitely would be. And look at the stack of roster right now. Group C will be joining us, so we welcome back on board BTR, Depex, Talent, the Savior, Flash, TTK, AZ, Slumber, as well as ASI8. I think like the ones that really have shown up the most coming in from Group C definitely is the first 5 names. I think like TTK, arguably so in so many situations that in Miramar, they still have been able to also win a couple of all these chicken dinners. So maybe that could actually put T2K in a safer spot.
And also NepX, right? We did talk about their chances, and they seem to have a good chance. But this will be the first game as well. So let's see how will they perform. And they have 1 game advantage against some of the teams that are above them currently in the overall charts. Of course, we got to do our due diligence. And do you have a team in mind now?
I'm going to go for the storyline, right? Because we talked about BTR needing to chase back their points that was gained by those members of Alter Ego. So they still want to be Indonesia's #1. So BTR it is. Okay.
So I will fight you for it.
Okay.
Bring on Alter Ego.
Oh, okay. You got to calm down for a bit. But you're telling me back-to-back win from Alter Ego is a very big possibility here. I mean, I think it's really feasible because even yesterday's Miramar, they looked so solid. I believe they also won the game there.
Yeah, they came close. They came close as well in a few other occasions. So, well, let's see here between you and me, BTR, Alter Ego. Now, just to make things a little bit more interesting, right? We can put a small wager to it.
Well, what do you want to wager this time around?
Okay, okay, chicken dinner is of course the chicken dinner, but let's put a little bit more excitement. If BTR finishes above Alter Ego, I'm buying the next dinner.
Okay.
But if Alter Ego finishes above BTR in this round only, you're buying dinner.
Okay, sounds fair enough. Let's do it.
All right, all right. But if we both finish above Vampire, production is buying us dinner.
Okay, I'm in. Okay, at least, the players get themselves a good dinner. We get ourselves some good dinner too. So, yep, that sounds just about right. So, now we're talking. You got me excited right there.
Oh, okay. Let's start the match. Where's the start button?
Prod, I think they're missing the button somewhere, so... we'll let them navigate around. Maybe, they're checking on the plane, getting it refueled and stuff like that. So while we're at it, right? Now, this is so interesting to me that, the past couple rounds have been, all these back and forth between the top teams. And then it really felt like they were racing each other. Whereas the ones who are supposed to be racing right now on this final day, they're not activated yet. The ones who are sitting around 18. So my eyes are also on NepX as well. These guys, they really play super aggressively for the past couple of days. And now they start to think, oh, we're lacking on those placement points and we got to catch up. So do you think that there's also chances today that NepX could actually score it?
I mean, you know what? They also give me that sort of aura or impression that this team seems to have something. I'll do that on page 3. Okay, but then again, based on their play style and the thing that they bring to the to the game, it does look like they have something special in them. It reminds me of like I remember when it was the early days of maybe Horror Esports, and some of the other names that we have seen before. Like they're able to put something onto the table, and NetX, at least for me, right, first time casting their game, they look like they can bring something special.
Yeah, I do think so myself. I mean, like when we take a look at the way that they've been playing, and it's definitely no wonder they've been able to really steal the show back in the PMNC. So definitely a very hot prospect within the scene right now. So I definitely look forward to what else are they really going to be able to show us and moving into these upcoming rounds. So in Miramar, at the very least, I think like Netpex has definitely got certain favorable instances where top 4 is very viable, but most often than not, I feel like they just tend to struggle on closing the games.
Yep. But sometimes you kind of think about it, right? To a certain extent, able to get chicken dinners can be a bonus. But if you're able to be consistent, like, every round you're top 4, you're top 3, every single round, you're doing pretty fine too. Especially at this stage where it's still the league stage where we just want to determine who's the top 18. I guess that's okay, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. And for many of all these teams who's been fighting back and forth, I mean, there's still a lot that goes on in my mind on how they really want to progress even after grand finals. Say, if you're somewhere in the middle of the field, you definitely feel a little bit more uncomfortable where, okay, these guys, they're really on this hot streak. How can we, have this switch up just like how Alter Ego did or Boom Esports, they have a very big performance on day one. What went on to the point that currently they're somewhere around that borderline? It really felt like maybe they're just trying to do just about enough, so to speak.
Yeah, maybe, right? And save it for the grand finals, especially when the smash rule is involved. So that's something that we want to see, and you guys need to check out on the day 4 of the grand finals on how teams will adapt themselves to the smash rule. That we can say it's still fairly new in the world of PUBG Mobile esports. But before we get onto that, let's head on to Miramar.
There we go. We go for a long dive into the sunny deserts. And this time around, starting off over onto the far northwestern corner of northeastern corner map. And I believe that that's going to be the access into the Terra Blanca capital military route. But then again, this is kind of leaning a little bit more towards the north side, while a lot of the circles that we've seen from the yesterday's games have been pretty much around Las Lunas, around the areas of Valdemar, so this is rather interesting.
And we'll see if we will get a similar circle. We also got a urban finish circle as well yesterday, so that's something. But for me personally, I would love an open circle. If it's an urban circle, sometimes teams will take their time. But we'll see. Now that we see the early drops here, looks like at the northern side, we only have AZ Slumber at Homeboys. Not as many teams as yesterday, like how we've seen. But I'm also looking in the middle there. Look at ASI8. They are overlapping another team. So there's a potential clash that might happen in that area.
I believe that they're moving into Las Lunas as default, and if it's going to be Celcom DG Alliance, maybe they're just going to be battling their way out. But, the trajectory looks pretty good, though, because they're about to get their way into the center zone, as I spoke of it before, because, trend seems to be once again happening. So it does benefit the members on the side of ASI8.
Yeah, and the circle happened to be there, too. But we got an early knock. Even before it was able to land on the ground, got knocked by the pistol of Tops, and Hugh. Chase Hugh. He missed. He missed.
Oh, no.
He missed. Second chance. Missed again. Casanova. He must be looking behind while he was running. That's why he can anticipate that.
He's just picking up his weapons again and again, and like he's thinking, okay, he's created too much distance, and he's already banking on hopes that he reaches towards the shack, and he might just be able to find a weapon. And if he does, Zeus is gonna be in trouble.
Okay. Opens the door. What weapons does he have inside? Did he manage to pick up anything?
I think he
Looks
did.
like nothing. I think only a melee weapon, but no firearm.
I mean, might as well just go on a full battle fight, and he's got a pistol.
Oh.
A pistol. Okay, good enough. Now it seems like Zeus is gonna be bringing the pump shotgun, and unfortunately for Casanova, he goes out not without a fight, and it's been a series of unfortunate events throughout this whole circuit for ASI.
Oh, just unfortunate. The moment they land, they bump into Team Flash, and that just happened. But maybe Team Secret can help them to get their revenge with Zerus here. But Zerus is alone though, so I'm not sure how ambitious he is.
Yeah, I think that they can afford to test the waters right now. I say waters, but it's in the desert, so Team Secret, that's a long coverage, but at least one of the members have bikes. Zeus, with the SLR, we've rarely seen players using the SLR these days. But back then when it was first released, I think that it became an instant favorite to try to match up with, the Mini 14s, because the 7.62 bullets tend to have maybe just slightly a bit more damage.
And speaking about Team Secret, they're pretty safe now, 104 points. So I don't expect them to be at the bottom 18. We should be able to see them still in the grand finals, and that's okay. Being one of the representatives from PMSL Southeast Asia to be in the PMWC, I'm sure fans would expect them to make their way to the grand finals without any sweat. As for AZ Slumber, on the other hand, one of the new kids on the block, they need the points.
They definitely do. AZ Slumber currently sitting at 20th spot. I mean, ideally, a chicken dinner would sort it, but then again, the last we saw out of AZ Slumber that they got closest to a chicken dinner back in Miramar, it was maybe around day 1 or so, where they've consistently placed like number 2, number 3, and mainly they're playing for placement points, and they were showing that they are capable of going for high frags as well, given the right circumstances to play maybe on close quarter combat. But it really feels like they are still trying to get adjusted to, I don't know if it's the weather. I think like you can relate, right? As a person. But it really seems like when it comes down to open field fights, AZ Slumber tend to not defend too well on certain aspects, and they eventually get picked apart. So that's something that AZ Slumber need to really figure out a way to keep themselves safe. And on top of that, I mean, it's not only AZ Slumber. The other two Malaysian teams, 52 Esports and Homeboys, they're also around the 60 points, 63 points margin. So it is kind of like a battle for the Malaysians to actually get to the finals.
It is, right? But could all survive? Could only one? Could only two? Well, we don't know. It all really depends on how many points are they going to be able to gather here. With only a handful of games left, maybe 3, maybe 4, depending on which group they're in. Well, it's going to be a challenge for sure. And they will be challenged by teams like NetX. And if we were to look at NetX and their current position on the southern side, as of now, in the first circle, they won't be challenged. So they're still in a pretty comfortable spot as compared to like Team 52 at the north, just coming into the circle. Yeah, there's no resistance, but there is a chance that they could bump into another team that was on their right side.
Yeah, and over on to these corners, Homeboys will really have to prepare themselves as well. Now that they're pretty much close to the blue zone at the very same time, they gotta really figure out where exactly to really move to next. Now, Nepex, just by the outskirts of Los Leones, they might have actually known that there is a player present around them over the hillside. And Tops, he's just being so sneaky about it. My big question is, how are they really setting up? I see two other members of Team Flash on the other side of the kill, and there we go. The instant taps coming in. Lapar already making that buggy smoked up. And our RQ might have missed the mark, but have done just about good enough to flush those homeboy members to stay further away.
And this is Gen Force, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now it makes sense.
Well, unless if it's not Gen Force, like like how these players would like to do. Sometimes they use their teammates' name or what. But we'll take it as Gen Force as of now.
Should be Gen Boss.
It should be. It should be.
So I understand that GFS is Gen Force, but what's with the TY? Gen Force, thank you.
Gen Force to you. Gen Force. I'm trying to think of more. Gen Force. Yeah.
I guess
TY is so hard now that I think about it.
Treat you.
Gen Force treat you. Yeah, I'll take that. I wouldn't mind him treating us.
If he comes over to KL, that is. I think that's a high possibility, right? A lot of all these PMSL SCA does tend to happen around Malaysia for a couple of times now. And I think the most recent one was back in Jakarta. So maybe we have to go to him instead. And he treats us to, I don't know, a good meal of nasi padang or something like that. Anyways, the snapbacks now extending towards the side of Todak. And the rest of Todak is kind of scattered at the moment. Segregated over onto different side of courses. Mango, at least he gets to pave his way out of it, having a coupe. Today's pace of Miramar tends to be a lot slower, other than ASI crashing out. Everyone else still healthy, but I say that RQ having one member knocked down.
Ooh, and Juki is pretty low. He's out of first aid. He only has that 9 bandages. Bit of an ambitious lob there, not able to connect at all. But we have Doc at this very high ground. But because of this terrain, he's not able to get a good clear view of where the members of RRQ are at. Oh, BTR. Long range now with a Mini 14. No elimination, so I guess that's one of those really, really long range. Oh, okay. Back to the first. Looks like Boy Steel just got eliminated by Vexy.
Vexy so far really showing his strides, while Docky finding Gen Foss in return. They've been playing on the low ground, and RRQ finding it rather difficult to really challenging up the hill. But they received a little bit of help. Seems like the rest of Team Secret, they got themselves into some pretty tough chances. And now, back and forth they go. So Bell now passes forward. 2K managing to defend for the meantime, and that double tap will be able to shut him down.
And Team Secret, Zerus now rushing forward. Needs to save his teammate, Juke. Juke is still down on the ground. Where are the other members of RRQ? They're a little bit too far. We look at the minimap. But they're still on their way, so it looks like they want to take this fight head on.
They absolutely do. As a matter of fact, they've really been going for that full-on challenge around these craters. And I'm not too sure what went on with Talon. I mean, they've only walked away with that 1 point out there. Members of T2K, maybe getting a catch. Team Secret, they finally got themselves a firm reset. 52 Esports having one member planted onto the top side of the crater. While Homeboys also drawing to a close. So plenty of teams here trying to wrap around this corner. And it's just a jumble up mess. That circle will further close in towards the direction of Team Flash, I do believe. And it's half city, half outskirts. So I think this is a good call for Team Flash to not overcommit.
Ooh, and your pick, BTR. They're tanking the blue right now on the left side. And my pick, RT, goes on the right, so they might not meet each other anytime soon. Frankie just finished off Swavel. Okay, interesting that the coach is playing, but, well, who knows. Anyway, Team 52 right now rushing in onto Homeboys. The two Malaysian teams adding at each other. Now they know that there's only one player on the second floor. Gobby with the nade. Cooks up. Sends it onto the second floor. Beautifully tossed by Gobby.
and is willing to actually tank the Molotov. But Nikki still actually secures the knock. So it buys a little bit more time. And 52 Esports at least will have Barrycon coming safe. And then they could just go ahead to secure Nikki. Homeboys, they're too far apart. I don't think they'll be able to actually go in for the rescue, but they're looking for a flank. Helton from the top side, though, suppresses Shamil as he's making a dash for it. He really wants to go in for a save, but it's too little too late, I assume. So, Simba coming over the off angle. These two teams are trying to claw each other out, denying them more points because they want to make it to the finals themselves.
Both of them, they want to claw into the top 18. So it's all for themselves now. As Gabi will lock in the elimination point out on Nikki. Now we have Team Secret against RRQ again. Lapa on the other side. It's only one person. See what Team Secret can do. Lapa just got Xerus. This could be a start of something big. As he got rushed in by Juke, but Frankie landed the final blow and RRQ is out.
Yeah, it's been a long, grueling duel for RQ, and they really lost a lot of their ground being over on the back end of the spawn of the crater. And the rest of 52 Esports, they are firmly in control as they're the ones making it rain upon the rest of the members of Team Secret because they are in the center of the crater. So I don't think there's a way out for Team Secret to really make an exit unless they have enough mats to really hold out. And even so, 52, they're willing to commit, but the angles, I'm not too sure where exactly it's coming from. I think Aiden Summer might have actually found him, and just like that, looking to deplete the rest of 52.
Okay, Kido passing by. Mizi was ready to shoot him off. And Kido immediately turns back. Iowa Helton is tanking the blue right now. We're at stage 3, coming to stage 4 in about 15 more seconds. Long range pressure by Mizi, putting them still in the blue zone. As AZ Slumber still playing the gatekeeping role, trying to stop them from coming in. But not only Team 52, but potentially even Team Secret later.
I feel like all these situations happen where teams are just getting gate-kept one after another was because of the flight path that was so skewered up the north that everybody is actually late to the zone. And take a look at this. Very interesting approach coming from the side of VPE. They take the water tanks on the outskirts stretch and they're firmly planted. And that kind of shifts a little closer towards the direction as well. So that's good going for VPE. I'm afraid that production might pass us on that prediction once again. But hey, I worry about that later because we got Team Secret retaliating. They finally get themselves deeper out. And now, 2v2 duel. Are they going to be able to win it?
Frankie Bond using his last first aid. I'm not sure about his chances of actually making out alive now. Especially with the fact that Juke is knocked. Now Frankie lofts the nade onto the other side, not able to land it at all. Still on the second floor. But his health is being chunked down by the blue. That's going to be a big problem for Frankie. But before that, still able to get the one knock, but not able to secure that elimination points. Barry will still survive. I wonder if Helton will be able to save him. The answer is no, the zone is just too much for them to handle.
Yeah, they're just luring way too long over on the outskirts. But at the very least, for 52 Esports, that's a total of 5 points. And they still have 2 more members that are going to be inbound in the zone. So they can actually play for a whole lot more. And I believe with those 5 points, they actually overtake Nepex.
Ooh, that is interesting, right? And with the fact that, well, Nepex is still in the game with 4 players still intact. So anything can happen with Nepex now. But we'll see. Okay, Nepex showing up, getting a knock on the Krypton from outer Eagle, but not securing that elimination point yet. So it looks like it's a long-range knock. And Krypton is crawling towards his teammates, but I believe he will be up soon.
The match also scavenge around and spot out the rest of T2K on the further side of the city. And that's the power of holding such a high vantage point. As me right now, just by the hay bell, and it's not going to be enough. Quick white wrap, and it's going to be AZ Slumber's members slowly being depleted. Only Brian as well as Gachakuta left on the field. If I'm not mistaken, was this Brian the RG Brian, or is this another Brian? I'm not quite sure. But then again, so that now, also sweeping by the edge, it really felt like it's MY versus MY versus MY all the way up north.
Well, to answer your curiosity, yes, it is the Brian of Contrast Pass.
He wasn't in my era though.
Oh yeah, true. But it is that Brian, in case you're wondering still. But speaking of Brian, now he's in action against Dora. The moment Dora showed up, they were ready to defend their ground. Cleon is down, and not only Cleon, 9 as well. Wow, easy slumber. Let's see if they can pull off this one. With the DBS gameplay by Brian, and an assist from his teammate, Gachakuta. Dora is out.
They work so well together. I really wonder if Gachakuta is really his IGN or is he actually masking it, because I am super impressed with their firepower so far. And right now, they're just leaps and miles ahead of NetBex in terms of numbers. But with the flush coming in out of DX members, it seems like the end is nigh. So they will go down with a respectable score. AZ Slumber's turn, though. 5 points to their name. And the rest of the members of DX, they can wait it out as they're burning through those resources coming from Brian. He's also flaming up, quickly putting in that first aid kit. And D-Saver is lobbing a golden nade once again. Not really quite connecting just yet. And eventually got withered down to 1 HP, so it makes it easy for the rest of D-Saver to secure. And finally, they've done it.
Oh, not the type of flame on that Brian would have wanted. And D-Xavier will lock in 2 points as of now. D-Xavier, one of those teams who could use a few more points just to secure themselves. Although they're in the top 18 now, but a few more points wouldn't hurt for D-Xavier. As for your team, BTR, they're playing on the outside. And they might want to challenge D-Xavier.
Seems like Federalists have already been taken out quite early on. Vexy now looking for an avenue. They heard those shots coming in where D-Saver was taking out those players of AZ Slumber, which is why they're scouting out around. And they are kind of in between another squad as well who's inside the zone. So a little bit of a concern for BTR for them to move deeper. Claw getting picked off and Win coming in from quite a distance in order to secure that. I mean, he hasn't really fully converted it, but nobody else coming out of NEPX is going to be anywhere close by. So I think that is just going to be a bad news for NEPX. Levi's now did check the corner, gets paid over onto these dudes, and now the rest of DX pulling right through. Nate now in the way. Lazarus holding on. Well, it is just the rest of D-Savior being punched up out of the corner. Lazarus tries to get those bullets up while Nate goes in for the save.
Well, it's going to be Schweppes now, the last player for Vampire Esports. Oh, what? BTR joining onto the party. Okay, this is going to be interesting here. But Schweppes very, very low because of that nade. But the nades, speak about them. BTR lands it into the second floor. And T2K from afar gave the final blow to D-Savior, finishing them off. And here comes Schweppes. Not able to win the fight against BTR. BTR, they stand tall.
Oh, perfect timing though. Oh, Lazarus almost secured it. I mean, Schweppes, he was trying to actually convert that number, but just in the nick of time, Razy went in for a clutch save. So it was a little bit of a tough call to make coming in from the rest of Vampire Esports. But hey, they tried their best holding their ground. BTR as well as the rest takes over. Outer Ego, once again, consistency to their name. Not too far off from where the rest of Team Flash is currently situated. And Team Flash is currently playing on a split formation. Any thoughts on that right now? Does it actually benefit this team when they actually go in to a really hole over on the outskirts?
Ooh. I guess they're playing that 50-50 because they want options in case the circle goes back inside of Lost Learners. That's where Zeus is at. And if it goes out to the open area, maybe they can follow out with Bo, trying to get the name right, and Tops as well. So they're giving themselves options. But till now, we can still say that the circle is 50-50 between the open area and the urban area of Lost Learners.
Yeah, and I think like that's a really good call coming from them. They still get that benefit with the circle now moving towards their direction. And it shouldn't be too hard to cover each other off because they're not too far apart at the very least. NetBex now, they've lost Claw. Last we saw, got upon the top end of scaffoldings. And right now, BTR on the outskirts, needing to find a way in. A little bit more calm since stage 6. We're only left with 6 teams. So it's a little bit of back and forth. Racy getting spotted out.
Well, both of our teams are still in the game, so that's exciting for us. Maybe not too much for production because they got eliminated. So production needs to buy both of us dinner.
Okay.
So we have that 1 token from them. But now it's between you and me now.
I really do wonder, like, what's like some of the best dishes coming from Nepal?
Ooh.
You know, like, I've never tried any Nepali food yet.
Apparently, we have Nepali restaurants
Here in Malaysia?
Yeah.
I think that's where we're going for dinner. Yeah.
Oh. Well, we'll see who's buying first.
Okay. I mean, we're still going.
Okay. All right. And it depends on who pays the bills later because both of our teams are still in the game. But BTR, which is your team, they seem to be looking for action at the north against Team Flash. Or maybe it's just a warning shot, so to speak, because they don't really need to push it yet.
They don't really have the urgency to do so. Rosemary getting knocked, though. And right now, a little bit more awkward for some of all these teams where they don't really know whether if they should move or should they stay put. I mean, it's an easy call for Team Flash to stay put, but the rest that are hugging over onto the far corners, they don't exactly feel too comfortable. And look at the south side. It seems like there is a trade going on. Netbex, one player caught out by T2K. T2K is carrying the S8 region right now in the top 6. Mimi so far, such a strong performance for today. I think he's done quite a plentiful damage. Take a look at that. He's number 2 on damage right now. 500 over damage at the moment.
He's been doing a lot of work for the team. If only they can secure more elimination points. But the one that's doing the work for Homeboys is Shamil, creeping behind Alter Ego. But let's see where will the circle go. Since Team Flash are in the middle, very likely they'll still get it. And they get 100% of circle. Oh man, what a control that they have right now with this kind of spread.
So if both of the teams go down that we voted for, does that mean that none of us get dinners?
Well, it'll still be decided by the points and the rankings, right? So we can still know who is buying.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Now we focus back on track. BTR tries to cut across. Okay. I think like my wallet is about to get damaged.
You can feel it.
I'm feeling it because it's a very tight squeeze, and BTR, they couldn't really find the angle to actually get right through. And finally, they get that recovery done, but they're actually moving towards the direction of both Team Flash and Alter Ego.
Ooh, okay, that's going to be interesting. And they have arrived. I think it's just right in front of Zaxi. And that's going to be a straightforward nade, but not enough to get the knockdown onto Zaxi. Reezy, on the other hand, gets taken out by Win. And Team Flash, finally, they are dominating. Well, in fact, they are dominating with the position that they are at. And Zaxi knocked out by Badru. That leaves BTR with only 1 player left. And where is that one more player? Is he still up? No, he's by the side. He's somewhere around Zaxi, but Zaxi has been taken out. And that's going to be Vexy, the last man standing.
Badru's still holding on. I mean, he's going to be going forward for the push. Vexy has to now do it all alone. Can he actually cut this situation up against 2 members of Alter Ego? They're just looking around the same compound, but Vexy's just trying to move further, deeper into this territory. Now he's dropped into the Molotov, trying to deny that space, but I believe that his position has already been compromised. But Badru is already wrapping around, and there goes BTR down at number 5.
I guess I can start scrolling for where to eat now.
Okay.
Yep.
After the game, we still got 4 more teams to go.
Oh yeah, 4 more teams. Okay, I'm already thinking about what's for very late dinner. Alter Ego, Team Flash, T2K, and NetX are still in the game. And who will score this one chicken dinner? It could be Team Flash with their current position in the middle of the circle, but they are now facing off against not only Alter Ego, but NetX as well.
Effects. They knew that their party is in the top 4, and this is just bang bang, cutting across the Zeus. He is catching fire right now, running right across the Team Flash. As much as they turned it, they managed to actually find a couple of all these trades, and Alpha secures one more point in the back.
And after all that, Alter Ego is still able to recover potentially all 4 of their players. That's crazy about Alter Ego. It was such a messy, scrappy fight against Team Flash, and yet they're still able to recover.
It's just pretty insane, and how that one did not really take any of those members out. Netpex now has to drive right through. Rex somehow survives because Rosemary ran out of bullets. All thanks to Precious with the cover fire at the very same time. Now they managed to get that big area of play. I wonder when exactly does Team Flash wants to get involved. I mean, they've been on the zone for a very long time now. I'm afraid that Netpex might not have much options for Precious because that vehicle was on the other member instead. So they go on their separate ways. Rosemary tries to track him inside the smoke. Alba to also follow to support Rosemary on this assault.
Oh, but then he love the animation though. But Precious taking a lot of damage, knocked out by Tops. And here's Alba with his no need. But by the time Rex should be able to heal up. I know, he doesn't have the room. There at the space. Tops is putting pressure from the side as well.
Are trying to hold on for the best possible situation. Netpex, 1 member left, and an opening up against the rest of T2K, and they're running right across, and it will be clipped by Krypton. Perfect angles, and now Ajaya as well as Rose, they managed to make their way into the town of Team Flash, and now have to pluck them out. Alba now going up with the personal, couple more knocks, and that will be it. Alba with that S12K secures it.
Now top 3 people. Alter Ego, Team Flash, and T2K for the chicken dinner. With Alter Ego still remaining, all 4 their players. And Team Flash and T2K next to each other. But T2K, they're distracted by Alter Ego on the other side. While Team Flash monitoring the situation in case any of the members of Alter Ego step into the open. Team Flash will be waiting for them.
These 2 teams should not fight each other right now because they got a bigger fish to fry, and that is Alter Ego hoping to just put a dent onto the both of these squads. But keep in mind, I mean, if Alter Ego rushes into those same compounds, they also run the risk of also being funneled into a choke point. So I guess they're going to be looking towards the direction of T2K first and foremost. Bo's getting knocked down. Alba somehow finds it. Well, he's over on the outskirts. He's tanking the blue zone, and he's about to go down. He finally makes his way in. Now, full-on flush. They're going to go in for the push.
Oh, from the side, Rules with SLK mid-range. Let's get the 1 knock. Ajaya shows up as well. Krypton is down on the ground. T2K, could they be the ones to deny Alter Ego off the chicken dinner? We still have Alvaro, the final player, now rushes in with the SLK himself. And looks like it took both Team Flash and T2K to take them down. Now it's between Team Flash and T2K for the chicken dinner 2v2.
Beautiful, beautiful work. And now it's down to this situation as they've been really making a whole lot of noise right from across their neighborhood. And right now, Rules could have actually found it. Down to Bose. Gotta play smart. He jumps around.
No!
He does that 1 shot, but it's not quite enough. T2K, they win once again here in Miramar. And now we see South Asia thrive.
They are clearly trained to kill. And can you imagine this, Contra? They play with 3 players from the very beginning of this round, but yet they are still able to get this chicken dinner. And it was against what? It was against Team Flash, which is a performing team as well. And it was against Alter Ego, who's currently a hot team. And T2K is the team that stood tall.
And mind you, this T2K roster, they were playing with 3 members only. That's what's crazy about what went on in this matchup. And still, they got themselves the chicken dinner.
Man, here are your 3 players here, ladies and gentlemen. And they also brought in 7 eliminations together with them, which is pretty decent. And if you kind of think about it, it's 3 players from the very beginning. chicken dinner with still a decent amount of eliminations. Man, imagine what they could have done if they had a full squad.
And that's really, really crazy, right? I'm not too sure whether, the fourth member have other priorities like work or school, but like, look at them go, man. Like, it's kind of absurd that they've been able to really outfight teams like Flash and also BTR with only 3 members. And at the tail end of it all, it's only down to 2, and they managed to really stall till the very end. And that just goes to show their deep level understanding of this game for most part. And the firepower of Ajaya so far was immense in this round.
Oh, absolutely, right? But we also cannot forget about the other teams as well. Team Flash, who played a very strategic position in the middle of the circle, followed by Alter Ego and their ever prowess when it comes to firepower. And we have BTR, who had to rotate all the way into the circle when the circle kept going away from them and still able to make the top 4. But individually, we're going to compare between Alva and Win, and the numbers, generally they favor more towards Alva.
Yeah, Alva so far really been the star of this run, where you saw Alter Ego was actually looking for an entry. He still managed to get the knockover onto that member of Team Flash, which is why Team Flash was slowly being depleted as well. So good onus on them. Alpha so far has really shown up to really put up the damage, but overall, damage numbers wise, it's still the member of Team Flash that does top the cake.
Oh yeah, with 5 eliminations, 936 damage, Ajaya is the MVP this round. I mean, if you ask me, right, because they play with 3 players from the very beginning, the entire team should be the MVP. But I guess that's what you call a chicken dinner for T2K, so that's fine as well. But besides Ajaya, we also have to give it to Alva, Vexy, and Krypton here as our other top performers.
Yeah, they've been outstanding throughout this run. When we have Vexy really trying to pull all the stops until they were chased by some of these members of Alter Ego and the rest as well. So it was not an easy task for him, but yet he still managed to really hold on to pick those 4 pointers. So look at the rest of the field so far. That they're definitely going to be able to even put even more once they get back to Wrangle.
Ooh, and look at this. So Team Flash, 13 points, Alter Ego, 13 points, and BTR, 11 points. So BTR, although they were eliminated before Alter Ego, but their point difference is not that far, so it's only a 2-point difference between those 2 teams. And on the other tail end, RRQ, ASI8, well, we all saw what happened to ASI8. It was very unfortunate. So 0 points for these 2 teams in this round. But there's still more games to go for them to see how many points they can rack up at the end of the playoffs.
Yep, and of course, that is just 4 more maps for us to witness where these teams can actually get more to be done right now. So stats-wise, some of the teams were not present, which is why you see that lower number of 54. And also at the same time, remember there were a lot of these teams that were fighting over on the North Point, and it was very hard for them to even get across, so to speak. So it definitely is going to be a lower number in that sense. Win with the longest shot, and the rest seems to be standard numbers all across. Well, take a look at the updates though. BTR, despite Alter Ego snatching that place, they are still pushing up, and they have been able to, once again, have a tie with Team Flash, who was poised for that position, but couldn't seal the deal.
Oh man. And Team Flash, they are below BTR because of the tiebreaker that favors BTR with the 3 chicken dinners that they've got before this. Other than that, Vampire Esports, well, they only managed 1 point, so they went down slightly, but it's okay. As long as you're in the top 18, very comfortable on page 1, you're fine. But we have to say hello to T2K on page 2. They were just at number 18 before this, and now they're number 14 with 90 points.
Yeah, that's great for them. I mean, they managed to back this chicken dinner home. And right now, that 17 points that they managed to actually find has been able to really allow them a little bit more of that safety net. Remember, I talked about needing at least 90 over points.
I guess now the threshold is going to be a little bit higher. So I really want to take a look at what really is the benchmark over onto the number 18 spot.
Ooh, and that's your answer, Contra. 78 points with NetX 75 points, so it's only 3 points behind Voin Donkey, but Voin Donkey did not play the Mirama match. AZ Slumber 69, Team 22 68, Homeboy 62. I would say at this point, it goes to all the way to Homeboys that have a chance to be in the grand finals.
Yeah, I think like that is very, very high possibilities that these guys could actually make the cut in that sense. So, you know, we can speculate all we want, but then again, like these teams, they really are here to prove themselves worthy. So we go take a short break, and when we come back, we'll get you into our next game in Erangel.
Dim sum. So what restaurant? Oh, we're back. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was browsing for options. Welcome back to the Ruthless Invitational Showdown Season 12, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mind me. I mean, it's way past dinner time, and I know I'm getting a good meal later. Thanks, Contra.
Oh, okay. But Alter Ego didn't get that chicken dinner though.
Well, it's not about the chicken dinner. It's about who ended higher. That's
How
the point.
about by the end of match 30, then we get to decide? That sounds more fair.
Oh, so what's the rule then?
Whoever gets placed higher on the board.
Oh,
Fair enough.
okay. All right. I'll take it on. Let's do it.
All right. So
your team is playing. Well, I assume that you're still going for BTR, of course.
yeah, but of course we're going to be changing the chicken dinner votes as well in between. So in Group B, they're going to be coming back for a little bit more. And right now I see the return of APG. You know, the first game, it was rather rough on them. And now that Alter Ego is not going to be on the block, I think that this is definitely going to be a little bit more interesting, where some of all these spots will be opened up and there's just no AE to terrorize anyone out there. So, who do you think is going to be taking this one?
I would pick Alter Ego, but they're not playing this round, so that's fine. Let's go for Netbex. Yeah.
Netflix. I think like this time around, it's going to be APG as my safe call in that sense.
Okay, not putting your faith onto BTR. That's fine. Okay. I'll tell BTR that you support them, but you don't support them. Okay.
Man. Don't tell Coach Ken, man. Like, he don't want to be upset.
we're on a broadcast where we have millions of people watching us right now, so you're not going to be able to escape that. You have a choice. It's closed. Too bad.
It's fine. I'm just going to double down. I mean, like, that bill is still on for the top of the table with or without us voting for it. So that's a separate thing that we're going to be going for anyway. So just looking at the rest of the field now, like what was interesting from the last round, I mean, surely that it was a big win for the side of TTK. They managed to save themselves from the rut. And now, big question remains is that the rest of the Malaysian teams last round was fighting each other. There was 52, there was AZ Slumber, and also even Toda was battling around that area. So is this going to be a firmer case where they finally get themselves something more steady along the way?
Yeah, there has been quite a trend though between those teams at the bottom, Malaysian teams especially. But let's see if they'll clash with each other again or not in this round as we head on to it. But looking at the groupings, AZ, Slumber, and 52, they're in separate groups, and 52, they are not playing this round, so it's only AZ Slumber. So I guess the storyline won't continue here. But what will continue is our fight for the dinner. Well, our dinner, that is. Beginning with the flight path from mid to the base to Stalber.
And this is one of the first times that we're actually getting ourselves this kind of a vertical flight, just from the bottom to the top. And I'm not too sure what to feel about it because it's headed towards the side of Stalber, and a lot of the teams kind of love to play, very pure, Jinky, even arguably Georgia Pool. So there's no access to it. But definitely it's going to be comfortable for some other names like Talon to really get into the island. Now, 52 esports, they usually go in for those kind of challenges inside of that area. And I feel like right now, even if they are playing in the map, they probably won't do so because they are desperate for the points.
Oh, but I noticed something else. 7-9, they're changing their drop spot to Lukovka this time because of the absence of Alter Ego. But we're getting action here on screen. Look what happened to be on the left side, but we'll talk about that later because right now we have Netbex against Southcom DG Alliance.
Ooh. And look at the circle, though. Like, I mean, they could just keep on fighting as much as they want, but that zone is going to be on no man's territory. It's going to be Kimmy OP finding that bullet through his pistol to connect over on the netbacks. And already securing those 2 elimination points that you definitely want to really finish things off. See the Alliance now on the hunt. Only having the Scorpion, so everyone's kind of broke right now in terms of weaponry.
Yeah, everyone's still pretty bare there. So they have to make do with whatever that they have. Sadilu tries to find that angle. That's super tight for him. But we have the mysterious Boy. Maybe a new signing by Celcom DT Alliance, but we don't know who exactly he is yet. He gets gunned down as they try to go up to the second floor. But same goes for Olio. He's down as well. Rex might make this comeback.
Yeah, potentially so.
Oh,
It's just a little bit of a limp right now. Rex, he does actually secure the mission onto the boy.
wait,
Oh, he's been waiting all along by the corner wall. He's been hiding. And finally, a full ace set in rare there by the member of Celcom DG Alliance.
Rex had the option of either reviving his teammate or going for it. He went for going for it, and still gotta give it to Celcom DT Alliance. Who was that last one? Was it Kasim or someone else?
I think it actually is Kasim, which is Jimmy OP.
Right.
Last we saw, he was actually just hugging really tight over on the wall while parkouring, and I guess he finally found the optimal spot. So great on him that he's been able to do so, and they managed to at least stay afloat for a little while longer.
Man, that was quick reflexes by Jimmy OP. I mean, it's Jimmy OP, so cannot expect anything less. But we're expecting another fight here. ASI8 and T2K. Here we go. ASI8, only 2 players left. Make that only 1 with Ajaya nading down Hudzaifa from the side. Baby. Oh, 2 left.
Oh, there we go. Crypto now looking for a whole lot more, and it is just going to be dishes to be thrown here by the restaurant. Ignis, he doesn't care what's on the plate right now. They're just going to serve it on a platter. And the AK in hand, it's just going to be storming over in the corner, and that's where the rest of T2K has been able to overwhelm ASI8. Such a tough run. A couple of times now. ASI8 falters very early on. Second team to bow out.
And with an early elimination, only getting 1 point. And we are at match 27 now. I don't think ASI can make it though.
Yeah, I think mathematically it's absolutely impossible. We definitely do think that the show must go on. So we'll see if they can still make the best out of the situation.
Yep. Or if they can actually make a miracle, like, okay, 2 back-to-back chicken dinners for themselves in the second half of today, like 20 eliminations each, then we're talking. But yeah, what are the odds, right? I mean, it's hard.
It's very, very difficult. I mean, they can only try their level best. So hopefully that should be good enough. Other than that, it seems like, we focus on to the rest of the other squads that has been able to really churn out, numerous numbers round after round. D-Savior, always is a little bit of 50-50. Certain games, they just basically dominated, like how Alter Ego had their kind of run today. And there are certain points where it's not much that they've been able to convert. But no matter the case, I think D-Savior, they usually do have just about enough decent checkpoints for them to still be getting at least a couple of points in the middle field.
Yeah, and the teams that need those points are teams like Void Donkey and AZ Slumber. Definitely 4th Rise could use it as well. Yeah, I guess within this grouping, those teams that are still in it Yeah, easy slumber definitely. Bowling donkey maybe. And 4 tries could use a few more points. But the team that could use more points because gotta end higher than Alter Ego if I'm getting a free dinner is going to be BTR now. Luxie's pretty low. Vexy spraying with SLK gets strong. That's a good start for him.
Oh, very, very beautiful stuff coming from the side of Vexy. He's trying to put the full pack to good use. And right now, here comes the rest of DX charging right through to be the vultures in the scene. Supermans will be able to attack one. Razio goes down. BTR, they're crumbling. And Vexy now, he's going to be leading his way. He knows he needs to fight off the arrival of DX. Now he does actually tip over a tank. Suxy also getting one in return, but instead, they will all crumble down to the ground.
Okay, the Vikings had a bit of an assistance from D Xavier as well, and now D Xavier, they're going to claim their taxes. Retains that 1 point that they want to claim, and they will. D Xavier, right timing as a third party, eliminates the Vikings.
Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it was clean. No casualties. Each one of them receiving 1 point. I mean, it was just absolutely decisive coming out of the side of DX. And the timing was just perfect. So, of course, going back to the drawing board right now. BTR already out. So there's plenty of opportunities for Team Flash to also go be part of the race. Despite, it's just for bragging rights and stuff like that. And now with a couple of all these top teams out, it also opened up those avenue for the rest of the field. So I think that this is definitely going to be that pivotal moment for many of them.
Let's see who will get the pivotal moment with the circle now. And it's a rather kind circle, I must say. It pulls back to somewhere in the middle. It's in the guard car fields. A lot of teams are already in there. But I've been keeping my eye on the right side of the circle. There seems to be like at least 3 teams heading the same direction. So there's a potential overlap there.
Yeah, and those kind of intersections does seem to be a little bit daunting for these guys out there. One donkey now makes their way into Pachinki. This Pachinki is absolutely for now. But the deeper they go, they're going to be bumping onto another team. How come DJ Lions getting a beautiful one up against Achol as he was thinking that that area was pretty much unclaimed, but he just went straight to the trap of DJ Lions.
And that's how come DJ Alliance, surely they will lose. They look, and that's a confirmation. Yoru will lock in the point, leaving only Jimmy OP alone now. Now he has to play a super duper safe. We can see that he's going the other direction away from APG, but out in the open of the guard car fields, he's exposing himself to long-range gunshots, just like what's happening right now. He's trying to survive that one. So far, nothing on the elimination feed, and that means he's okay. But speaking about okay, Celcom DJ Alliance now at 104 points. They've done way enough to qualify to the Grand Finals anyway.
No, it should be just about decent enough for them to, go all out once, the moment matters more in the Grand Finals. So APG making sure that they stay present and relevant. Meanwhile, T2K currently sitting at 12. They are actually racing for top 10 to also prove a certain point. Because of that, 4 missions, they are chasing up against, they already overtook AST in that matter of fact. Boom Esports, what more can they also give? Team Flash so far really proving themselves to be, even more consistent than DX, despite DX showing us a little something right there on those fights over onto that quarter. That seems to be super solid. And look at Fallout. He's going for those cheeky moves, climbing this tower, but it's going to take a while. So he's going to show us how it's done.
Yeah, we're getting tutorials here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how you do it.
He's so patient.
Sign off by Fallout.
Wow. Back then, I always wondered how exactly do you actually climb up. And Fallout is one of the only few players that I see does this. It's just so interesting to me.
Okay. He's getting there. Okay. A little bit to the left. Okay, he got it. All right. So almost to the top. It's getting close, getting close.
I like that he is unpunished for doing so throughout the whole time of being around that fair area. And look at the current zone. Some of the teams will have to be moving towards fair period, so it's actually very, very timely that he does.
And he even has that, like, what do you call it? Satellite dish or something that covers him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, I've seen it before, maybe in the previous run, where literally he was just going to over on the quarter undetected, and all these teams were trying to see where exactly is this bullet coming from. And maybe talk about bullets right now. Rolls within Taxa, and Boing Donkey tries to challenge the count. And here comes the rival over back. Zeta does actually get the pin down over on the side of Rolls, and now here comes the rival. T2K hot off a whip, but it's Igneous being tagged. Oh, not like this. Slowly and surely, Boing Donkey is slowly picking up one by one a giant now 1v1 trade.
In the face, just like that. And Boing wins it. 3 eliminations in the pocket right now, but they have to find their next pathway into the circle. Speaking about inside the circle, we have Boom Esports here. Among them are Xavier and Triper Messi that's currently holding the high ground. But lucky for all these teams, or especially for Boom Esports, because they're in the circle, they don't really need to move and leave their compound for now. But on the other side, we still have Xavier. Now, they're up against Void.
Boing Donkey. There's a lot back and forth, and it seems like there's just no clear winners out there, and then the rest of T2K a little bit overwhelmed because they were standing over the open grounds, and it was perfect grenade, lop right through. It's always gonna be Nate T that does these kinds of maneuvers. Just like that, he secures one more in the back.
Okay, that was a beautiful nade though. Let's see what Gachor is thinking of. Oh, he'll be rushed in. It's gonna be hard. I mean, left, right, center. Where is he gonna go from here? And that is the end of Boing Donkey and their campaign this round at number 11 with 3 eliminations. But looks like the Xavier, they are out for blood this round.
Yeah, they are. The Xavier this time just showing us a little bit more of their firepower, where, you know, those past couple of rounds they were doing things a lot more tactically. And speaking of firepower, we got a lot of all these big teams: Talon, APG, Team Flash, neck and neck, and then this circle, where's it gonna go? And unfortunately for Fallock, I mean, he spent a lot of time climbing. Okay, he can still stay up there for maybe another minute or two. So are they gonna just keep themselves around that corner? Because right now, this is an open field in Gatka. It's flat ground terrain for most part. Boom Esports as well as AST, they're gonna hold a high ground so they can actually farm some points from that position.
And from the back, we have Alpha Gaming, and in front of them is going to be Talon. They seem to be interested to try to cut through Talon to be in the circle. And Talon, the ones who play the gatekeeping role, perhaps, okay, they're still in their vehicles. They're probably deciding on what to do. But while all that is happening, on the elimination feed, Gante just got one for himself. And now we have Triber Messi on screen with the high ground that they have. They're able to block out the members of Easy Slumber.
Yeah, there's just great moves overall. And right now, these X still popping over on our feet, chasing for even more of those points. Already 8. Man, these guys are absolutely hustling. And they also got the rest of Boom Esports by their crosshairs. I don't think that Boom Esports really want to move away from that. But big question remains is that whether if the Saber will crash through, I guess not, because they got the X Lambo. Is that Lambo? I don't know, but there's definitely no saving him from this situation.
Yeah. Out in the open, unless the other members of the Xavier can knock down the players of Sem9, then maybe he could get away. But let's see what happens later on. Gonna keep an eye on that one. Because right now, we're gonna switch our attention over to Sem9's view of Talon. But on the southern side, we have Alpha Gaming now against Fourth Thrice with a high ground advantage. They were knocked down east. Eliminated immediately. Zul as well on the ground. Thanks to Falak and his very, very high ground position.
Yeah, this is just great work coming from 4 o'clock. I mean, they've been planning here all along. And T-Flash, they don't know where Falak is at, and he finally nails it from this position. And now being spotted out. Oh, he's got to go skill down. And thankfully, it's not too hard of a drop. It does not deplete more of his bleeding health bar already. So that is going to be a member down. And quickly, Nyash comes in for the rescue.
Yeah, interesting that Falak is still able to parkour his way down to minimize the fall damage. And all that was happening while he was knocked. But back to 7-9 and D Xavier. Looks like 7-9. They had the better of D Xavier, taking out Levi's, taking out Nate. And D Xavier now only has 1 player left.
Wow. So many fights taking place all the way up here. D Xavier, I think that they overgressed in that extent. I mean, 9 points is as good as it gets for all of their efforts. So they end up on the 10th spot, unable to do much more than that. I mean, take a look at this map, right? It's understandable so that some of these teams, they find it to be a little bit more of that struggle because they are forced to play on an open field. Boom Esports, they're happy because they have the only compound that is very holdable heading to the late game.
Oh yeah. Everywhere else is out in the open. Especially where talent is at. But there's still a little bit of high ground for Tribe and Messi to play. But we will check back on them later because right now, make that now. Okay. They're able to show off the members of AZ Slumber, forcing them to make that big rotation up north. But being in their position, they're not in the circle yet, and that's where Boom Esports will lock them out.
Yeah, Boom Esports, all they really need to do is just to keep an eye out on the fields, and they will just be able to just convert some of them in return. Tax after tax over onto Miz. As much as you think that what's there on the wall, actually players are actually getting those angles right. Mastery, he is just going to expand the full med kit to 100%. AZ Slumber, at least they found, a quiet little neighborhood to share that space alongside with Boom Esports, so they won't be pushed, while the rest of Team Flash also navigating their way around. AST now decides, okay, it's time to go out in the fields, and Delta perhaps is going to be parking over onto that crate, gets himself that extra added firepower from the loot crate.
And Rick is rushing towards 4th Rise. He wants to see if he can finish them off. So much open space between him and 4th Rise. Anyway, behind his haystack, the fullest trigger. 50% of health shredded down. Second attempt by Rick. Eventually get it this time. Still continues to spray, but not able to. He's running low on Scar L ammunition.
Oh, perfect tax coming all around. Delta didn't have to secure that knock. And now this could be a go side, but the nade, Rick somehow still survived.
Oh, not for long, they say. And now Rick is on the ground. Falak can be saved.
You gotta see what does Tribe Airbase answers back with this one. Yante trying to suppress them inside of the smoke. But he finds nothing in return. I mean, it's just so hard to really track whatever movement that there is because there's so many shrouds of smoke being popped up. But at the very same time, that also means that some of these members of 4 Tribes, they're burning a lot of their own resources by doing so. And later on, once it subsides, there might just be nothing in return. Sem9 inside the shack. This is one of the rare instances where we're seeing full-on long-range affairs as well as mid-range fights taking place here in Wrangle. All thanks to, the Circle Gods of Pubg and the rest of AST now looking to close in. Will they be able to find it? He preps the nade, but kind of cooked it a little too early, don't you think?
Yep. But they will still have that second chance. Oh, wait. Who shot Rick? Oh, it's Tops from Team Flash. Landing an assist to 4th Rise. Okay. And how far is that shot? That's like, if you look at the map, that's like all the way up north.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. As much as it looks very far, I think like right now it's about 250 plus meters from one end to the other. So it's still very doable. AST, I kind of like that position. a triangle over onto the outskirts into where Zyle's currently located. And then Yante, they managed to spot those members of Pubg Esports situated inside of the compound. They know it's going to be a tough fight, but they're willing to take it no matter the cost.
And 4 tries eliminated number 7. 4 elimination points, leaving us with 6 teams now. Trapper Messi has come down for the high ground. But it's time for Team Flash to get into the circle by taking this fight against 7-9. One player of 7-9, just right in front of Win, inside the shack. He does have an idea, but because of the smoke that is still active, so it's hard for him to go in. But now Pubg Esports need to defend the ground against AZ Slumber. AZ Slumber doing so far so good. They got 2. 1 more to go. And it's going to be Fajar on the other side. This nade by Brian. 3 nades to be exact. Did not get Fajar. But Fajar has nowhere to go.
Yeah, Fajar is absolutely stuck in between. And right now, all he has to do is maybe wait for the arrival of Team Flash as they are about to swing towards the rest of AZ Slumber. We're finally getting ourselves those close quarter combat action. And shots are already being fired at Win as well as Bo at the very same time. Defensive nades now all being popped with the members of AZ Slumber. And take a look at the cheeky work coming in from Win. He's hoping for a flank. He's going for a very, very wide swing. And perhaps this could actually open up more avenues for them to catch onto those members of AZ Slumber.
Okay, here comes Bo as well. Once joining onto the party, we have at least 3 teams here. Or maybe we need that 4 because Trapper Messi is on the southern side of the minimap. So they're also monitoring the situation, probably thinking of coming as a third party.
Sure enough, and they're just taking every measurement onto pinpoint accuracy. Not too much on the grenades though. I mean, it's all about 50-50 chances when you're lobbing into areas, and that chance lands on top of Gachiakuta. Traded back as tops. Right now needs a little bit more of a recovery where Bo is going to be picking him up. Delta on the other corner. AST is currently pinching them because they're over on the south side looking for that flank.
Ooh, Brian with the DBS gameplay. 3 eliminations to his name. So far, so good for Brian. He needs to find more in this fight. And now Brian again! This time eliminating Team Flash. What a gameplay by Brian. But the fight's not over yet though. Still has to deal with Fajar on the other building.
That's big for AZ Slumber, making it to the top 5, but 5 elimination points. They deterred the Team Flash out of many names. And now the confidence is brimming. They're having such a good time holding it inside the compound. Trap Aramisi. They've been the kingmakers of the field right now. 6 points already, as they've been able to gather all that intelligence even up against Talon Esports. And that circle does shift towards the side of Talon, which is why AST, they're looking to clear them out.
And here's tapped by Jante. It's not easy to land that shot though, as the members of Talon are in the building. And Delta's on the other side. Bax representing 7-9 is still here as well. Fajar, wait a second. Oh, okay. I thought he come up with a clutch, but maybe came with the final blow. And Fajar almost clutched AZ.
Oh no, they gotta recover in time. I mean, there's only 10 seconds before the zone closes out. I'm afraid that that's not enough for AZ Slumber to get their health bars back up and also to get to those vehicles because you can't really go too far by foot. Thankfully, there's still some portion of the zones that you can sprint over, but they risk the chance of being caught out by the rest of AST. LaFire, I think he gets a glimpse out of that member of AST, but Delta, he's always been watching out, so he's going to be able to pin him down.
LaFire. Let's see if we can come up with something big here. By the edge of the circle, this nade. It's a little bit too short. What an ambitious nade though. But O'Brien again, getting 0. Okay, what's up with Brian? He is definitely on the roll here.
Yeah, he was that hot prospect from Malaysia back then when he started off competing in this local circuits, and then he just made a name for himself on so many teams that he's been joining. And right now, proving a point that he is still as sharp as ever. And that nade! Oh, wonderful work coming out of AST's very own Delta. And now,
the battle is on. AZ Slumber versus Sam9 versus AZ Slumber.
Okay. Facts gotta be extra careful there. Don't expose his shoulder. Got the chance to heal up. Now he'll fire back onto Trapper Messi. The blue is just right behind him. So much open space. Oh no, this is bad. This is bad for Facts. No space left for Facts. Exposed himself to Trapper Messi, giving them a rampage with 10 eliminations.
It's just a full-on display of skills coming in from AST. From that push towards 4 tribes, and then how they just been able to bombard back at the members of Talon without really further committing into a close part of combat is just a very high level display of skill. And now look at that spread coming from AST. They're looking to secure a lot of the room of the zone, whereas AZ Slumber, they're forced to go prone. And I do believe that if we look into the itemization, they probably don't have that many utilities to go. 4 more fragmenting on the side of Brian, but he does not have a single smoke or even flashbang. And Miz, he finally that opening pick. This is gonna be huge. This might just be AZ Slumber's first ever chicken dinner.
Ooh, and they definitely need the chicken dinner as they're fighting for survival right now. The Tribal Messi might deny it away from them. Able to recover their teammates, Zero? I don't think so. There goes Brian, eliminating him. Delta is out as well. That's only Gante. Gante 1v3. And Gante, he's in circle. Okay, he does have circle. But then again, he does not have the numbers.
You gotta keep in mind that AZ Slumber there by the edge. So if it shrinks into the middle, the rest of AZ Slumber will be forced to move in the open. And keep in mind, no smoke. So these guys, they gotta really have that raw aim to take out Gante.
Oh, here comes the tap, the spray from the side. Brian tries to get Gante. Brian repositioning himself. He's trying to find that angle, but now he's out in the open. Gante fires back, but at the end of the day, it is still the Wonder Kid, Brian, who finishing him off. And AZ Slumber claims their first chicken dinner.
Brian, the hyper carry of AZ Slumber, backs their biggest win so far here in the Ruthless Invitational Showdown. It's a long time coming for this team that got newly promoted. And of course, with his wealth of experience that he's played back in the PMSL circuit as well as the Malaysian circuit, and he's been able to carry them into the grand finals if they could just hold on for the next couple of games.
Whew. The race is going to be hot here as we approach our second half of the day, which is the last few games of the playoffs. Now, speaking about Brian, 6 eliminations just by himself. Maisie contributed 3 eliminations. And the amount of damage by Brian, 1,086. No doubt this guy is surely going to be the MVP.
It definitely has to be, Ray. I mean, how many points did he actually secure? Once again, I gotta take a look at it again because he led those fights inside the compound. He deteriorated Team Flash. And then there was also Boom Esports that they were fighting up against as neighbors that they managed to overwhelm. At first, I thought, hey, AZ Slumber, they're just trying to, share that space with Boom. But no, they wanted grass. They really took it one step further and then all the way till the very end of this run. So this is impeccable. I mean, they all work very well together, but I really do hope that, in the upcoming games, now they know who to play around. It has to be Brian.
Yep, and because of Brian and his team's performance, they are obviously on top of every other team, even in the teams to watch here. Next to them is Trapper Messi that finished off second, and then we have Sam9 together with D-Xavier that had a very active round. And D-Xavier, they played very aggressively this time, very active as compared to some of the rounds. And you know what? Because of that, sometimes you really don't know which version of D-Xavier is going to show up on the battleground.
Yeah, that's where, D-Saber, they actually kickstarted the round and they decided to choose violence this time. And I think it looks pretty good on their record so far. They got a total of 9 elimination points, just like how AZ Slumber did. Damage-wise, though, I mean, you saw AST was actually taking a very controlled approach because they coming from the south side. They were playing on the hill where they were having small little battles with Boom Esports. And then once they move into those ground terrains, they hunted out for 4 triumphs and so many more. And 6 points of eliminations for Brian. And we've just spoke so much about this Wonder Kid who is still really pushing his teams to the limit.
Yeah, and he has joined multiple teams in the professional scene, but not able to find his breakthrough moment. I mean, this is still not the PMSL, but with this kind of performance, it's going to be interesting to see what Brian can pull off later when the official league starts. Besides Brian, we also have to give props to Delta, Vex, and I'll just put it as Lamborghini.
I think it is Lamborghini overall, and it is understandably so that he's always going to be looking for those big numbers, so to speak. So it's not too much of a mystery to us because he's like the legacy player that has been around since the very start of the X.
Yeah, one of the founding members, I must say, of the Xavier. Still very, very consistent. And if we were to zoom in onto the Xavier itself, what is placement points when you have 9 elimination points? Putting them up there just below Sem9, who scored 10 points. And then you have Tribe Messi with 16 points and AZ Slumber 19. Now in this round, glad to see all 16 teams present. And nobody went out empty-handed. Everyone got something for themselves.
Yeah, there was just so many of all these battles, all thanks to the zone being majority in those mainland areas where nobody has to deal with bodies of waters and stuff like that. So we finally get to see a glimpse of more elimination points because every team was present, plenty of knockouts, and I think that you were asking, those distance of shots, that was impressive, but Vextry was even more impressive with 358.
Yeah, and he survived for Sem9 towards the end, giving them a few more placement points overall. Speaking about overall, here are your overall rankings. And my boys of Alter Ego still at number 1.
Well, I feel like BTR really got to really push a little bit harder if, you know, they want to save my wallet. I don't think they care too much about my wallet, to be honest, but whatever
they can
it
buy
is.
your wallet and your bank account for sure.
Yeah, they can buy my life too if they want. I can work for BTR.
Ooh.
Take me.
Hello,
Anyways,
BTR.
Team Flash though, they moved up.
Well, okay, but page 1 teams, they're generally okay. We'll surely see them in the grand finals. But page 2, AZ Slumber. Welcome to page 2 now. You know, look at how many changes on page 2, right? Like this part of the overall rankings, and I'm pretty sure on page 3 as well, is going to be hardly contested.
Yeah, and you take a look at that. AST, they jumped 3 spots. The biggest leap coming in from AZ Slumber because of that chicken dinner. And that was what we were discussing on. One good chicken dinner. And lo and behold, AZ Slumber right now, they are saved by the bell. But they still need to play another couple of games for them to really solidify it.
Well, looking at the numbers still, it is still close. And we have 2 games per team. Coming to the second half, I would still give it up to Homeboys with a chance to be in the grand finals. But of course, it all depends on what kind of performance can they put in the battleground coming on the second half. Second half will commence after this break, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere.
Step into the ring. Step into the ring. giving up. Give me what I want. Turn on, get ready for it. Stay strong. I'm here for it. Don't stop. No rest for the wicked. Turn it up again. I lose control. Give me everything. It's what I want. Best I've ever been. I see the glow. Feel it deep within my soul. Give me what I want. Never get enough. I'm never giving up. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I
Wow, we're finally getting ourselves some new winners on the list. AZ Slumber, they got themselves their first ever chicken dinner. And just because of that, they are getting themselves pretty much firmly planted above top 18.
Yep. Getting a chicken dinner at the right timing for AZ Slumber. But can they hold on to that top 18? That will be the question here, because now we're on our second half of the day and we're down to the last 3 games on our broadcast, but for each team, they only have 2 more games to go.
Yeah, this is where it is very worrisome. So for some of these guys out there, they really have to ensure that
they either push super hard or they really have to play very strategically. It's one or the other. And now we're going back to Group A versus Group B, coming back into this Miramar matchup.
Oh yeah, Group A and B, where it will feature my boys, Alter Ego. The wager is still on, right? Yep. We have 3 more games to go before we lock that in as well. So, since Alter Ego is returning, I know my pick. Let's go. The boys of Alter Ego.
Okay, if you're going for Alter Ego this time around, I'm going to go with Vampire Esports. I think like today they have shown that some of these different kind of play styles, which, you know, I'm hoping to see full aggression, but it feels a little bit more strategic. But production, they waste no time to say APG is going to take it home right now.
Oh, okay. So, in other words, you're saying that Vampire will eliminate Alter Ego and stop them from getting more points, so that
It's
your
a big
BTR has a chance.
It could be anyone to eliminate it. I mean, you saw how crazy these matches been. Like even last round where AZ Slumber took the whole chicken dinner, where we thought at first AST's got those great control, and then we also thought that Talon's got that great control in the zone, but apparently not. I mean, it's anyone's game.
Okay. And we're talking about like a battle royale, right? Where there's more than one team actually playing, so you would never really know like who's going to bump into each other. But the other point that we also want to check out later on is, let's see, Sam9 and also Fourth Rise. They happen to be in the same group, so they'll be meeting every single round. And since we're coming back onto Erangel, very clear. We want to see if the battle continues.
Don't mind me, just gotta let off a little bit of sneeze out there. Yep, the battle of Fairapure was never ending, and last round, 4 times they managed to win it. So, gotta see if that is going to be the case when they move into Miramar, because Monte Nivo is going to be pretty much the same story yet again.
Ooh. And we will see Miramar now. Apologies there. It is going to be Miramar, so we will save the Erangel for later. Let's head on to Miramar. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the start of the second half of our last day of the playoffs.
Here we go. This is going to be the second last matchup of Miramar, and to me, I'm kind of sad to eventually wave goodbye to, you know, all these amazing moments that happens to the playoffs. And right now, it's also dire for certain teams like Boing Donkey, and also this is with names like a few others that are currently sitting around that line of 18. So Boing Donkey, they gotta once again form up a clutch. Yesterday they've been able to win the chicken dinner, so can they do it once again?
Ooh, Boing Donkey, they scored it in the last game yesterday as well. So let's see, they are playing this round and they're heading towards El Pozo. Uncontested, so that's okay for them. I wonder where could be a potential contest point. Vampire might not be contested in the middle of the map. I think that this round we're gonna have an equal start. I don't see any early contest happening this time.
Yeah, I think it's for the better, you know, like for most part, all these back and forth usually result in very scrappy fights. Even if you do win, you essentially don't get to play the round later on. That's the nature of Miramar. And look at CD Alliance as well as Alter Ego already opening rounds over on the outskirts of the area of Los Leones.
And that's because it's in Los Leones, right? So it's a city that big that it can house up to 2 teams. But oh, hang on. I think there's an overlap on the right side. Impala. But or maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Yeah, we do. So Boom Esports and Team 52. Let's go.
Wow. Boom Esports. They gotta go big, or they might just actually go home right now. They're not too far off from Boing Donkey's position. Still very, very concerning for these teams. And 52, they're also hoping to actually win this one out. They've won this battle against Boom before. Can they do it again? And this is mainly their struggle here inside of Miramar for most part. The initial fight that they've lost a couple of times.
And we have Team 52. Quite spread out though. Helton's on the other side of the city. It's not really involved in the fight yet. Boom Esports, here we go. They managed to get one. And that's going to be Boom Esports now on a handicap against Team 52. It's a good start for them, as they are still in a position that they are surrounding the members of Boom Esports. So you can see that they have the territorial advantage.
They absolutely do. Boom Esports just hoping to make good use of their current location. Well, 52 Esports, they're saying that, hey, no matter what, eventually when you want to move into the zone, you still kind of need to wrap around these corners. And Helton is just piling on the pressure onto Fajar. Kidobu is still kind of looking for those weapons as well for exchange. While Helton leading the pack. And here comes opening pick. Oh, Gopi with a jump shot.
And Yummy just got eliminated. Now it's again Fajar, the final player of Boom Esports against the world. Can he actually pull out a big clutch? It's down to 1% health. And that's it. Team 52, clean win against Boom Esports. Boom Esports now out. They're at number 15 with 84 points. And with the fact that like teams like Boeing Donkey, Team 52 who won against them, Homeboys and AZ who just got the chicken dinner, Boom Esports, they might be in a scary position now.
Yeah, and you gotta keep in mind they only have one game left after this. Voin Donkey is just 3 points to tie in with them. So Voin can actually use this opportunity in this match alone to really form an overtake. So if that actually happens, then Boom Esports, they got to really put their A game back into Erangel. At the very least, Erangel seems to be a little bit more stable because they always take Rozok, but they're really out of shape today. It's a big surprise. I mean, that fight, it was more like them trying to run away more than actually going for the duel.
Yeah, it's not too sure, right? Not too sure. It's hard to explain, though. It doesn't look like they were really fighting back. I mean, there were some attempts, but by the time that happened, it was only Fajar. Then everyone else wasn't around, and it was 4v1, so it was very, very difficult anyway. But if we talk about like who was the more active party, then it was quite clear that Team 52 was the one. I guess that's also part of their motivation because they want to be in the grand finals, and that's what they did against the Boom Esports, considering that they know that Boom Esports is one of those teams that they can potentially push down to replace the slot in the top 18.
Yeah, I mean, one lesser opponent that you know of is actually a great news overall if you're going to be in that tournament. So I'm also not too convinced just yet. I mean, Voin Donkey, you look at their current run, surely the past couple of matches from yesterday see them actually thrive, but I've not really seen them really go full aggro. Boom Esports at least tries, but Voin Donkey is kind of playing the pattern of MVKE, but by doing so, they're just really turtling. They're not trying to maximize their potential, other than maybe a couple of instances where Voin Donkey did have Vexy actually having some good pop-off showing. The rest, not so. So I'm not too sure. I'm not really bad-mouthing either side of the teams. It's just that I know they are better than this. It's just that they couldn't find their rhythm.
Come on, Contra. Just admit it. You are.
I am. Finish the sentence, my guy. I dare you.
Well, I dare Vampire Esports to take the fight against Cellcom DJ Alliance, and they won't back out of it. And this time, it's the same lineup where Mela is playing, and Mela right now sees an angle from the lower ground with SLK, knocking down Ade Luke. I just need to be extra careful from afar. Boy, am I gunning down. Now, I want to put out a rumor that boy could be Ryan from BTR. So I'm just putting it out there.
BTR Ryan. Oh my, that's actually a big transfer if you're telling me that. But can he gel the dynamics of CD Alliance? I feel like Cellcom TG Alliance, surely they're looking decent, but this is not their prime form also. I mean, you saw past couple of PMSL, they always been around the top 5, top 6 radar usually, and doesn't seem like in this scrims alone, I mean, like in this tournament alone, that they've been able to reach their peak just yet.
Well, it is an off-season tournament, and to a certain extent, it is a training ground for them. So who knows?
For synergy, I guess.
But boy and Leo is looking for a way out. Hopefully, their synergy can bring them to safety. But if you look at the minimap, they're actually heading towards the Vikings. Okay, at least they don't go all the way, so they still have the space to play with.
Plenty of room right now, but it's gonna be a big update. And this kind of circled, most likely not, it usually benefits Team Secret, but it actually moves further away. And you know, earlier I was talking about Void Donkey. Looks like they got delivered the zone. Can they make good use of it right now? Is going to be the biggest factor of how well could they actually play this one out.
It's a big hard shift. Look at the amount of teams that's on the outside of the circle because of this. Especially those on the bottom right. They have to not only travel far into the circle, but there's a big chance that they will bump into other teams on the way as well. Expect an explosive stage this round will be.
It definitely will be. And you can see that big funnel that these teams will be going throughout the valley. And I think that certain pickoffs will happen in the span of a few moments because right now the zone is starting to shrink. Stay tuned. Albeit being a little bit slow on how it closes out, but Semnight, they arrive onto this corner, but they are met with those members of Homeboys now, trying to close in.
Amazal, lots of molly across, but nobody's really home. They don't really know that Simba is beside them. Simba, he's going to be one with nature, I guess, because his teammates are too far away, so he's not going to take that risk. But by him being here, he's actually relaying back information to all his other teammates, telling them that, you know what, guys? Sam9 is all in this building. Everywhere else is clear, so we can close the gap.
So sneaky coming in from Simba. And this sneak attack can be fruitful once Semnight tries to set foot forward. And take a look at the rest of Homeboys. They're also forming up a stack. And over onto the top end of the hill is actually Limboy, trying to see if they could actually open some angles. Trezzy now moves on the outskirts. He's taking the bus. He's trying to wrap his way across. Okay, no further commitments so far. Now, going back to Void Esports, Potato did manage to take a player out. Rezek starting things off. I wonder who could that be. I think it was MVKE that lost either Trang or Break. I got a second check on that.
Oh.
Finally, the nade falls through. They managed to find their knock onto Trexy.
Oh, and they didn't expect Simba to be there. And Trexy's down. Mr. IGL needs help. But that's a signal to the rest of Homeboys to rush in right now. You can see them opening up the space, sending another nade inside. Did not connect at all, but here comes the rest of Homeboys. Amazal gets Shamil. The big boy Shamil eliminated by Amazal. Viren gets Simba. Sem9, they fight back though. 3 players against 2 for Homeboys. Homeboys could be losing the plot here, but they will not go down without a fight. Limboy gets one for himself, taking out the remaining members of Sem9, and it ended with Nikki with a final blow.
It's so strange. I mean, Sem9, they didn't even have any form of response, but to really turtle in, everybody's on the ground floor. Nobody is really trying to hold over onto the upper floors instead. And they all got funneled into that corridor. And you gotta say that opening nade was the main cause of the full stir that Sem9, they were too focused on retrieving their fallen teammate that they kind of let the rest of Homeboys to push through.
If only they had a spread like on the second floor, perhaps looking outside for any other incoming players, or I don't know, maybe like just spread out. Maybe they could have won that one, but now we switch our focus on Team Secret. And Crypto got a surprise by Doc. He totally didn't expect that one.
Yeah, Doc always having some really cheeky angles. And he's going to be looking for a whole lot more open pickings up against the rest of these teams over the field. With MVKE as well as RQ side by side, I think that Team Secret, they definitely want to eventually come in for a little bit of a peak. And also take note that the last time that we have some similar circle, Team Secret actually won that chicken dinner. So right now, Doc is in his right form. With that 1 point, they managed to also tie the current record with Todak at the moment.
But Vampire Esports, they don't want to tie with anyone. They just took out Ruthless, leaving APG with only 2 now. And here we have Mela and his POV. Trying to get Doc, but Doc should be safe now, as he managed to get away thanks to the terrain as well, so he will be okay. Speaking about Team Secret, one of the players just got knocked. But last we checked Team Secret, they were in a building. So considering that there's no follow-up, then I believe that they should be back as 4. But now we have Todak and Triple Missy fighting each other. 9 will be eliminated. Triple and Missy have the man advantage right now, but they have to wrap things up against Todak. Gante from the inner side, dancing around with the 2 players of Todak. Gante shot from behind by Cleon with the DBS.
Yeah, it went too close to the BS crosshair right now. Leon tries to find another one, but not quite enough. Caddy, he comes in at the right time. And now down to Zayo. Zayo having his feet all blown out. And now Caddy is very low. He's going to look for a pickup. And then he managed to heal in time, but quickly barely brought down once again. Zayo, is he going to be able to close it out? Down to this very moment. A ring around. And Kenny is looking to turn the tide.
Oh, Kenny! Landed the final shot, but Zayo had to reload early on. He only had 2 bullets in his SOK. But here comes Forthright. And Kenny is very low. He didn't have the time to heal up. Doesn't help that the fact that the blue is just right beside him. Forthright coming in. Searching for Kenny. Kenny is still alive and he managed to heal up back to 80%.
But he couldn't really retrieve his teammates. That he needs to do so ASAP, but he's not being allowed any form of retreat. More drives, putting that pressure. And now, the rest of his teammates need to actually give him a little bit more information, and just like that, Kenny is overwhelmed.
It was just too unfortunate for Kenny. Again, a third party happened. Now Team Secret bringing the party to Team 52, getting 2 knockdowns back-to-back by Xeris. Team 52 totally didn't expect this one. They didn't know what hit them. Now Kiddo on the other side, Juki was ready. It's a trap that was set by Team Secret.
A huge one, as a matter of fact. They were hiding inside of the crystals for so long. Team Secret, 5 points to their name right now. On the rise, having the most points thus far. The rest of RQ still back and forth. It's been a long trade between them as well as MVKE, because they are currently stuck in this situation where they cannot afford to move because of their presence. And for the fact of the matter is that they are also in the zone. So they can afford to still go in for certain trades. Alpha Gaming, however, just arrived towards the far end of the blue zone. Also was traveling alongside with the rest of Vampire Esports. And the moment I say so, it's Mela trying to take them out right in the forefront.
Oh, here comes the spray. Dewey gets stuck. And Vampire Esports, they have been tracking APG for quite a while right now. It's going to be only 0 right now for APG as Schwabs tries to find that angle before saving his teammate. Wants to finish up the job, but now has to be careful because behind him, Boy, second shooting at him. Dewey will take his place instead, and finishing off Jill is the mission. And they got it, and now they can recover.
It's just a very crucial timing for them to really get everything at pinpoint accuracy right now. And do they have enough space to really traverse is the big question next. After getting a little bit of that reset. Going Donkey, so far holding on just fine. They started off in the perfect spot. And now, APG, and also Vampire Esports, is also flocking around these quarters, so it definitely is going to be a little bit more of the pressure onto Void Esports to really hold on, because we're not even in the top 8 for the placement points just yet. Nobody can afford to fall.
For Fourth Thrive won't be falling. They have a good spot with that high ground. But they have to defend potentially against Vampire if Vampire doesn't move to somewhere else. They're still on their vehicles though, so potentially Vampire might go away. But seeing this version of Vampire, they are the type that don't shy away from fights, so they might take it against Four Thrives.
I think that's very, very likely. Take a look at Red Bull. He's already trying to see if he can take the lead in this one. And look at the rest of Four Tribes. They are separate 2-2 formation. If Vampire Esports take Fallout out right now, it will really put it into the members of Four Tribes. So they really got to find that backup. Call for Nyash, call for who has 9 to also chime in. Then maybe they can hold on.
Well, on the southern side, we have a handful of teams here, including RRQ and MBKE, where Tins is on the ground and the Baker will finish him off. That's going to be point number 1 this round for RRQ. And Drag, oh, wait a second. Oh, okay. That was a surprise.
Big one indeed. I mean, it's just so much of these bombardments taking place, and Void Donkey looking to also go in for an exchange. Mochi now needs to be rescued. Red Bull, they found those open pick, and the wingers coming in from the side of Four Tribes, they're already down and out. Like you read the room earlier, Vampire Esports, they wanted to push, they got it.
Oh, but Red Bull just got gunned down. But now we're going to focus on the Alter Ego because Southcom DJ Alliance is going to crash in onto their compound. Alba will get poor boy. O'Leo's really low, and Alter Ego. Quick defense by them. Southcom DJ Alliance out.
It's a very tough challenge. I mean, they're on the outskirts. They barely have enough angles to actually work with. Alter Ego only down to 2. And just look at them go. Void Donkey, they do have the numbers to really book it out. But Badru has been the minute that he can actually change the altercation. And here goes the full flush onto Hasnayan. And now there's only one member remaining, and that is Nyash. He's got a hightail out of the situation. Vampire Esports, they pave a path up the hillside. And this is a powerful play because the rest is going to be low ground on the upcoming zone.
Vampire Esports waking up in the middle of the night now, looking to hunt 8 eliminations right now in the hands of Vampire Esports and looking for more. As the final play of Four Thrives is in front of them, but Schweppes from afar trying to butt in between Void as well as Alter Ego. But not able to get a knock, it's okay. They still have that high ground to play now.
They do for now. Both Void Donkey as well as Alter Ego call for a truce. Guess Mochi still got some resources to try to deplete Alva. Gachor also holding on to his grenades. So this double nade might actually convert something in return. We'll have to see about that. While the rest of RQ, they met up with the rest of Team Secret moving towards the direction. And the Pecco, he barely got enough cover. He's still exposed. But that's actually from the angle of Homeboys instead. Livboy, he finds the knock. And this is now trouble ahead for the side of RQ in the worst of situation.
Oh, and the circle will shift. These teams that we can see on screen, they are by the edge of the circle. There's a chance that they won't get the circle after this. But Team Secret will not go down without a fight. Circle-wise, it goes towards the middle. But back on the Team Secret, they're winning the fight against RRQ. But from afar, that one play of RRQ. Zenforce tries to trade it back at least, but now his position compromised.
Yeah, and on top of that, Red Bull, he went in 180 towards the side of the map to strike onto Team Secret instead. So right now, the ones with the full control from the last we saw from the mini-map, Vampire Esports is on 3/4 of the map.
Oh, what did I go by Schweppes? Ooh, almost got that one. Now sends a nade down. What an ambitious nade though. I doubt he'll be able to find that angle, but still the psychological warfare is happening. As Schweppes still holds the high ground. And final player of Four Thrives, Niash Bro, is not able to step out at all.
True. And Vampire Esports so confident. Last saw that Red Bull was actually moving over to the Far East. He managed to clear out that sector. And now they've doubled down because they know this high ground is going to overwhelm all the other teams that are right down below, and rightfully so. Team Secret defending themselves inside of the warehouse, but I think eventually Team Secret has to move too. I mean, they're the ones located on the purple dot on the minimap. So I guess if it's by chance that it closes in towards that sector, then Team Secret will be super happy about that. That part esports, they've got so much room to play that it's not even going to be fair against the rest of the team.
Oh. Well, I guess every other team will need to find their own way to make it fair, I guess. But gotta give it to the Team Secret. They found this kind of position to put themselves in a good spot as of now. Look at this. On the minimap, on the right side, no one else is close enough to challenge them. And they can tap away onto all these other teams that are busy with each other.
Yeah, not at all. I felt like the only pressure was them needing to clear out 4 tribes, and they managed to do so cleanly, not losing any former members. Secret, they marked onto those members of Homeboys. Homeboys by the far stretch over onto the west. Such a standstill. It's like everybody sees each other, but they just couldn't really nail the point.
Yeah, I know, right? Because of the terrain. It's like, I see you, but... You know, like something's in between us. You know, like a relationship.
It's like you broke up your ex, but you still follow them on Instagram or something. You see them, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting the drill now. You're getting the drill now. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Same vibes, man. Same vibes.
Ooh. you want to talk?
Yeah, we can do that. We're talking right now, I guess. This point though, I think he needs more than the talks. Oh, so much damage being done. Oh, finally, they nail one.
Oh, after so long. But with the circle shift, Nicky is in the toughest position. Like he's far away. And there's a lot of open space to get into the circle. I don't know how Nicky from Homeboys can survive this one.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Like, 4 tribes is still around because Nyash did manage to find himself a shack right down below. He's kind of in the middle of the zone. Of course, VP is currently holding him hostage right down there. But ultimately, when it comes down to maybe the final duke out, I think like the other teams over the outskirts are far worse in position as compared to Nyash. So that's great news for the side of 4 tribes.
Well, time for Vampire Esports to descend now, as they have very little space to play with that high ground. But who's going to make the first move? Okay. Oh, Nicky popped that smoke. So Mela now he knows. I'm sure Mela will keep a good eye on them.
Definitely.
But when it comes to between Alter Ego and Void, both of that circle with this compound, I doubt they'll really move now.
This is the most peaceful I've seen the two play, you know, especially Alter Ego. They're just chilling. But somebody's got to destroy their home somehow, and that person is Ducky. That's a little rude. But hey, I guess like he's just trying to find a little bit of points to be scored right now. For the interesting position that they're holding too. I mean, Void Donkey, they have those compounds, but there's actually a lot of open windows, which is rather dangerous.
So they have to be careful of their angles. But I'll be okay. I wouldn't say there's a team that I'll be truly worried yet. I think everyone has the spot at stage 7 circle. But surely some of these teams will lose their advantage moving on to stage number 8. We'll find it out in about 8 more seconds. A very high possibility that Vampire Esports will need to come down from that high ground. And that's where they will be exposed. And a lot of teams will want to get their revenge. But oh, wait a second. There's still a little bit of space at the north. Okay, now we get a better view. No space at the high ground, so they have to go down.
Oh, I hope that Vampire Esports have stocked enough smoke grenades. I think one thing they could do is to visit 4 tribes and then maybe take that space away. They could finally find something in return. Now, I guess the patience pays off for some of these members of Void Donkey as well as Alter Ego. They're still going to be inside the zone, so they could still, once it gets it put. But what's the rest of Team Secret's about to do right now? 4 members strong. They've been able to mark those members of Vampire Esports, like you mentioned early on, but they know that they can't really do much about it until later that they beat the reposition. And I think they just need to look for that right moment in order to really commit.
You know when they say the universe is fair, Alter Ego has the compound with the circle, but they only have 2 players. Universe is fair. But the point, not being fair to Team Secret and Vampire Esports, Red Bull will be gunned down. Team Secret. Now they're still finding their way into the circle fully. And this is the time for Vampire Esports to go down. But while heading down, they expose themselves and they have been eliminated. Number 5 for Vampire Esports, but they still score a whooping 8 elimination points.
Huge work coming in. And they're just going out, hoping to actually close out to make it a perfect 10er up against Nyash. Juke, oh, he almost gets the line up, but couldn't really find it. Nyash barely surviving, and then that grenade's going to be pushing him out of that position, running towards his direction, and he got him baited out.
I love how he knows exactly that timing and when to move. That saved him from that nade. But now top 3. Team Secret 3 players. Void Donkey 2, Alter Ego 2. But Void Donkey now down to only 1. Make that no more players as Alter Ego cleared them off. It's between Team Secret and Alter Ego. The 2nd and 3rd place in the recent PMSL Southeast Asia against each other for this chicken dinner.
The close fight. 3 versus 2. Battered now. He's trying to pin down Zeros as he's slowly bleeding out. Frankie, I don't think he will be able to save this one. Alba right now, tactics alongside with him. Juke being blinded up, but Alba! Oh, he does land a grenade onto the weakened member, Frankie. Goes all the way, finding cover behind that broken vehicle. Now that's opens up the wing, and just like that, Juke being punished out of smoke. How on earth did Battle found that?
Oh, here comes. Okay, it's only Alva right now. Final player for Alter Ego. 1v1 against Frankie Bond. Frankie heals up, 80% of health. Alba not able to heal. He's out in the open right now, and Frankie will take the shot. Team Secret brings the chicken dinner in Miramar to themselves.
They run it back yet again. I mentioned that they've been winning a certain chicken dinner that's around that St. Martin corner, and they just feel so confident about this, where they know that, okay, we saw the rest of Vampire Esports, they run out of space. We can punish them if they press on forward. And just like that, they found even more, and they just were hunkering down over at an open spot. It went so close down to that 1v1 duel, but the exchanges was just better.
Oh man. And Alva, his final position was out in the open because he had no space. Like the blue forced him to move. So he was put in an unfortunate spot. But at some point, it kind of looked like, oh, could Alter Ego actually do it? Because they have been taking down members of Team Secret like back to back. So that's definitely something. It still shows that Alter Ego is still hot here today. But we're not going to take away the spotlight from Team Secret. Not only they scored the chicken dinner, but they brought back together with them a lot of elimination points.
Plenty of it. I feel like this is just the sure firepower that they're displaying here inside Miramar and great understanding of the terrains. Remember at a certain point in time, Vampire Esports was the one locking them on the opposite side. They were inside the warehouse and they were turtling. And then eventually Team Secret, they push up to another high ground. They got themselves cover, and that they're just basically waiting for the right time, just like how VP did. But it's just really a lot of mind games. And on top of that, a lot of firepower that really won this one out for Secret.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Firepower, positioning, when to move. It's well executed by Team Secret. But besides Team Secret, we have Alter Ego, Vampire Esports, and Void as our teams to watch here. Void, they have been like everlasting neighbors with Alter Ego. Unfortunately, they went out earlier, but that's okay. It's still a top 4. That's not too bad at all. But what's definitely way more than okay is these two players, Juke and Schwartz.
I mean, both sides, they're dishing plenty of damage. To only 2 points for Shreps, though. I thought Mela was pretty impressive on his approach, but look at the contribution list. Juke absolutely was a pivotal member, especially in that final fight, right? Like, he definitely gets some isolations. And then Dadru was very worrisome. I mean, he actually was the MVP of this matchup because how many players did he manage to tag inside of smoke? It's just ridiculous.
I know, right? 5 eliminations in total, 680 damage, showing up again. Although I'm not really convinced that, Badru is actually playing, because there are also rumors that, is this Satar? Ooh. I'll leave it up to you guys in the comment section to debate about it.
Oh, I think it actually is. Now it makes a very interesting notion that, this is a very fired up roster coming in from the side of Alter Ego, all thanks to, his presence in the squad. No wonder that I was wondering, BTR, it feels like somebody's missing from the roster.
Yeah, because Satar is not in the announced roster. Ooh. So where is he? Ooh. Is he playing? Ooh. Is he taking a break? Ooh. Could he be somewhere in an island, just enjoying the sunshine? Ooh.
Well, technically, if you're in Indonesia, you're probably in an island. Like, they're an island nation, right? It's a giant island, Jakarta.
True enough, that's geography for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to come back to the subject of math instead. So points-wise, Team Seeker 22 points. That's a lot there. Alter Ego 13, Vampire Esports 11, Void 10, Homeboys 10. Oh, that's a lot of double digits up there.
Yeah, I mean, 10 points for Void Donkey. That's important. Remember, they were the ones taking charge of holding down the line of 18.
Oh, yeah.
So they made it harder for the rest of the pack.
Oh, yeah. So the race for the top 18 will be very interesting. Can't wait to see. Because Homeboys has got 10 as well. So I want to know how close they are to the top 18. But before we get to that, page 1, all these teams, we'll surely see them again tomorrow. And Alter Ego is 174 points. BTR 147 points. They have 2 more games to go to save Contra and his wallet.
It's okay. I'll just get the dinner by now. I mean, right now, whether if they win or not, I think they've been impressive just enough. And Team Secret's effort right now is really showing where, eliminations-wise, they're just 1 elimination away from matching with BTR.
Yeah, glad that you mentioned that because I was about to browse for my food delivery and since you said that, okay, I can close my app now. Anyway, 4th Rise. Now, number 16. Welcome to page number 2. 92 points. Okay, let's see how safe 4th Rise is. And also like T2K, 94 points. Oh, now we have a red graphic. 84 for Boom. Okay, it's still close. NetX 77. Homeboy 72. Oh, it still goes all the way down to 22nd place. That could potentially make it.
It's a potential, but then again, it is very daunting of a task. I mean, if you are needing 12 points above, that means that you gotta fight for a chicken dinner. If your Homeboys ASI, I think it's mathematically impossible already if it's only 1 game. If it's 2 games, still possible. While 52 Esports and everyone else, there is a solid chance.
Well, some of these teams have only 1 more game to go. Like Homeboys, like Team 52, 1 more game. So looking at the points that they are at, they have to come up big in their 1 last game. And for some of them, they still have 2 games. Before we head on to that, we're going to take a short break, people. We'll see you guys after this break.
Step into the ring. doubt. I got feeling, but I can't shout. I got reasons, but I'm all out. No rest for the weekend. Give me what I want. Never get enough. Never giving up. Give me what I want. Turn on. Get ready for it. Stay strong. I'm here for it. Don't stop. No rest for the weekend. Turn it up again. I lose control. Give me everything. It's what I want. Best I've ever been. I see the glow. Feel it deep within my soul. Give me what I want. Never get enough. I'm never giving up. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I
Okay, let's go because we have 2 more games to go on our broadcast. I'll tell you guys one more game. Betia has 2. So how you feeling, Contra?
Well, I gotta say that no matter the cost, we're seeing in the grand finals, and maybe there's another dinner on the line. So I'll see if I can claim one more back by then. But you know, I set my fate. I think that there's also a significant number of gap as well in terms of numbers. So that being said, Erangel, it is definitely showtime for some of these guys who wants to, of course, make their mark once more to see if they can make it to the grand final. So I think like the major focus right now is on teams like NEPX, Boom Esports, who is not playing in this round, and also for the list of names like 52 Esports and 8 ASI8. So I gotta say, it is looking rather rough. Homeboys also does stand a chance. So we'll have to see what do they do with these given moments.
Ooh. Maybe that could potentially push them, like to score the dinner. Like how AZ had that push, knowing that they are down there. And it's like, okay, guys, we got to score that chicken dinner. And they eventually did, right? So maybe Homeboys, maybe Team 52, who knows? And we now have to do our due diligence. So between them, I'm going to lock in Alter Ego.
Oh, I was thinking about Alter Ego as well. I think that, some of the teams out here needs a little bit of support. And I really want to see names like NEPX to be up there. So my vote goes on for them, just to give them a little bit of confidence boost.
Where is the confidence with BTR? They're playing. Contra, you got to put your faith into them.
Well, I do have my faith in them, but like I said, it doesn't matter if we still gotta vote for any other teams, because right now I'm thinking more of like wanting to see teams to make it to the finals than teams who already made it to the finals. And prediction-wise from production is going to be T2K. They've been doing excellently in Miramar, and I think that is a really strong showing and a vote of confidence coming in from our dear Prots.
Yeah, I mean, like what? They play with 3 players, but still able to get the chicken dinner. I presume that they will be playing with 4 players in this round. So, maybe the stars will align for them to like, we had 3 players, we could do it. 4 players, why not? So that's a strong pick as well, not gonna lie there. But yeah, it is all about the race to the top 18. So for this round, it will be the last round for some of the teams. Especially from group, let's see here. Group A will be the last round. So who's in Group A that's in danger? Team 52 and Homeboys. Yeah, so if they don't do the business in this round, that's it. If they are not in top 18, that's it. They're out.
Yeah, this is where it is very risky. I mean, a lot of all these teams, they really love to brawl. I think like we've seen a lot coming from Homeboys in some of all these rounds overall. So now, next the question, do they still go on the full offense, or is it time to play defensively? And realistically, when that happens, where exactly can you execute it to actually do so here in Rango? Because last round, it was the open fields in the middle of Gatka. If it ends up there again, I'm afraid everybody's got to go on for a full-on final showdown.
Well, this is the Ruthless Invitational Showdown. We're at Season 12, and we're at the last game for Group A in the playoffs for the season. Let's head on to it, starting with the flight path from up north all the way down. That means it's also passing by Ferry here. But yeah, Group B isn't playing, so yeah, we're not going to be too worried about whether 7-9 will meet with 4 tries or not. We'll save that for next time.
So I think like at least for that last round for those members in Group A, this is a very fair flight path for them to really get to those kind of space. So this is definitely going to be a little bit more of a trait for some of all these areas. 4 tries without, all too much of the hassle. I guess like this is just going to be a kind round for some of these guys who tend to meet up too often for those altercations, like I said.
E2K drops up north, following the footsteps of ASI8. Keep an eye on that one if there will be a tussle for a vehicle. On screen is going to be Team Flash. Ooh, 1 player of BTR down before he was able to land.
Oh, that's kind of tough for them to actually start things off with. Vampire Esports flowing very far over onto the Primos grounds, and look at the rest of Homeboys. They're going to be inside the island, and they're on the far opposite. Oh, man. Now that is going to be pretty risky. How many teams does Homeboys really have to go up against in order to even get to the zone?
Whew. Okay, it's going to take them quite a bit. We'll check on Homeboys later because right now it's going to be AZ, Slumber, and Team Secret tussling for weapons. Doc, unfortunately, not able to pick up a weapon. Gachakuta instead. Going up to the second floor, now third floor. And Doc is ready to jump down. Okay, he's going to go all Rambo here with his knife. Let's see if he's able to get that one, but the answer is no from Brian.
Oh, great catch, Brian. Back at it for more. They were the ones to win it out earlier. And oh, 2K, he's got the knife prepared. And he's just going to slice and dice. Puts him to sleep.
A Team Secret, they have Frankie. Oh, Frankie has a VSS. Perfect weapon for this. But his VSS. Okay, he does have bullets. But I don't know if AZ Slumber is going to step out and be a open target for Frankie. So I don't know about this. I think Frankie, as much as he wants to get revenge, I'm not sure how much is he going to get out of this.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell right at this moment. Frankie, he's got the VSS to really point it over on the side of Brian. At least he's confident enough to know that Brian has no weapons, though. So doesn't really matter if, he's on the VSS because VSS is still better than the pistol because it comes with a free scope. And now, time for them to shine. It is so close, yet so far. And now, gotcha, good dub with the SKS as well. Trades back and actually finds Team Secret. Oh, they did manage to come up with that scrappy fight and came up on top, taking 4 points. So I think this really confirms it. AZ Slumber, they're very safe, where there's no way that they will fall below 18.
But how about T2K? 94 points by the edge. Up against ASI 8 now. And ASI 8, well, this is the second last round. Unless they come out with a super mega performance, then it's going to be hard. But now Rule shows up. The shotgun taking down Casanova. See if we can get more out of this sticky situation. At least now they have the numbers. Casanova eliminated by Ajaya. 3 more to go for ASI. And baby, he will respond. Taking down Igneous. Mimi now just right in front of him. He does have this one nade though. Let's see if we'll be able to land that one. Baby, gotta be careful. Okay, the nade did not land. So he's alright.
T2K, relentless assault. And they're kind of having a little bit more of that bragging rights because they're the ones qualifying and they made it near impossible for ASI throughout the whole run because always in South 70 they've been fighting to no end. And now it's a little bit standstill. Igneous needing a little bit more backup. Crypto looking to close it out, aka Baby. Bringing that S12K, he knows that somebody's around this vicinity. Mimi's not making advancements. So it's all about the close range fights because I see everybody carrying all these shotguns all across. Igneous at least tries to feed off some of the info, and now it's going to be Byron that's looking to eventually close up that knock member. And if they could actually extend their rounds, then they could also for win. Oh, big leap of faith coming in from Rules. A daredevil in disguise. And now that nade will be tossed towards the direction.
It's a bit of a parkour work there. Now both teams still trying to find each other or at least getting a good clear shot. Ajaya on top of this roof. I'm not sure if we can actually see his opponents on the other side. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, Igneous finished off by Baby. Now T2K 3, ASI 3. We're back to a standoff.
This is the longest stalemate between the two. Usually it's very explosive. They just sell the scores within a matter of 10 seconds. And now they won the final bout out. And with the circle going all the way north, they can take all day to fight, honestly. But take a look at the rest of AC Slumber. Next to Todak, they're fighting for the control over the bridge. Looks like Todak did manage to cut across. Now, as much as I was worried for their homeboys initially, now there is a clean passage for them to make an entry point into the mainland.
Okay. Beautifully lobbed nade by Huzaifa. And that's going to be Rules now down on the rooftop. Nobody's nearby to save him. Signal for Mimi to move in. Tries to suppress his opponent inside the building while he closes the gap. Baby showing up. DBS gameplay in front of him versus an S12K. As Huzaifa took his nade, but he did not lob it into the smoke. They are still dribbling each other right now. 3v2 with Rules on the ground.
It's going to be really hard for them to really fight back. Malini open the ground. Mimi with the DBS brings him down to 1 slither health. Huzaifa still secures it. And now it's only down to the Daya. SI8, as much as they did not find enough points, they are going to be able to shut out T2K having their pride intact.
Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna put it out there, right? Like ASIA, they have 2 games, including this one. If they can come out like mega chicken dinner.
2 chicken dinners back to back.